Yo, what's up? Welcome back to North Stream. Today we're gonna be doing some reactions. Now, this is gonna be interesting stream. Oh my god, mute. Idiots. Okay, I hate when this happens. Alright, let me just load my little chat up. Is it? Oh, it's loaded. Okay, good. So, we're just gonna get straight into the meat and potatoes, bro. The first video I'm gonna look at is right here, actually. Why I quit multiplayer games for single player games. The reason why I want to watch this is because, bro, I just am very invested in this topic, bro, because I'm not gonna lie, over the last, I'd say, year or so, I've gone farther and farther away from multiplayer games, and I want to hear what the reason is and why people seem to be switching. I'm not saying everyone does, by the way. So basically, I don't know, over the last year I've noticed, I'd say last 2 years or so, like I personally have been moving away from multiplayer games, but because mainly competitive ones I'm talking about, mainly because I don't know, I just feel like they don't respect their time like at all. It's like when I play a game, I don't want to have to put thousands of hours or hundreds of hours just to have some enjoyment out of it, and that's what a lot of multiplayer games, competitive multiplayer games like CS:GO and Valorant and all those do. They reward players who put hundreds of hours of playing the game over and over and over. Also, okay, I should probably start the video, but I also feel like a lot of competitive games get really boring. Like CS:GO for me, it was really boring. Like even when you play with friends, right? It's like after like 10 matches, it's like, okay, so I've been through all the maps already, and I've already seen every single map multiple times over. So it's not interesting. Like the only thing interesting is, ooh, you could play better potentially. But when you're not great because you haven't put a lot of hours in the game, it's like, oh, where's the fun? Whereas single player games, you can literally leave the game, come back, and you know, you'll be like back where you left off. There's no like, oh, now I have to catch up with everyone else because everyone else got better. Like, there's none of that.
So when it comes to multiplayer and single player games, both of those niches have their huge communities. You know, there are people that only play multiplayer games and that have their one or two games
Yeah,
that
no, I find that crazy. There's people who only play like 3 games and they have thousands of hours on those 3 games and they just cycle between that. I can't. I could never. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I think, you know, if you're gonna put thousands of hours into a game like that, where that's like the only thing you do, you'd be better off just like being the best players you could possibly be, trying to go pro or go stream on Twitch or something. Do something with it. Don't just play it. Like there's a lot of people just play it and don't do anything with it, and that's a waste.
they play all year round. And then you have the guys that only play single player games. And then you obviously have those guys that just don't give an F and play whatever they want to. And well, I was one of those guys a couple of years ago. I had a lot of single player games that I absolutely loved, but I was also playing a lot of multiplayer games, maybe even more than single player ones. But a couple of years ago, well, I made the decision to quit playing multiplayer games. And the reasons for that are mostly not very obvious ones. You know, I won't be talking about the general stuff like, yeah, multiplayer games aren't as fun anymore. No, today we're digging deep and I'll tell you my serious reasons why I stopped playing multiplayer games and pretty much only play single player games today, and why it might be actually a good idea for you.
Well, I don't think you should just give up multiplayer games for good because, it's always fun to hop on like Fortnite once in a while and play with people. Like if you played single player games only, like you do take away an aspect that makes playing video games fun, which is playing with friends. Now I understand some single player games you can't play with friends. Like I didn't even know this, but you could play Elden Ring with friends. I didn't even know that was a thing. Like wow, I could play Dark Souls with other people. But like I mean, is that really multiplayer or just co-op? Like I don't. Ooh, that's really hard to say. I would say that's more of co-op in a single player game. Which, by the way, I think some of the most fun I've had with people is when I play co-op in like, single player games with other people. That's fun. It's enjoyable. But, you know, when he says single player games, I think he means more story games. I don't know.
And so guys, now I want you to think about, what did our parents always tell us when we were small and when we were playing video games? They mostly said, yo, you're wasting your time. But always, even when I was getting older and older, I didn't really see it as time wasting, you know? Like when I was playing The Witcher 3 and I was living through these incredible stories, I didn't really feel like there was a waste of time. Because, you know, playing those 1 or 2 hours a day after a productive or hard day really was a great way to wind down and relax properly. But one time I was thinking about it, I was a very passionate Counter-Strike Go player. I had around 3,000 hours, global elite, and I have been playing the game for literally years. Like I started the game when I was 12 or 13.
Damn.
And literally played it until the age of 18, 19. And once I was sitting there, literally thinking about the 3,000 hours that I
Yeah,
had.
I mean, I just like when you put a lot of hours in a game, I'm still in that phase where it's like, wow, I put a lot of hours into a game. Wow, that's cool. Oh, wow, look, I put this many hours in a game. That's cool. But also part of me realizes like, dude, putting 1,000 hours into a game, imagine if I worked for 1,000 hours, how much money I'd have. Imagine if I put that somewhere else. Now, my point is if you have over 1,000 hours into a game, you kind of have to start questioning, like, what else could I be doing? I don't know, doing the same thing every day to me just seems like, dude, you need to switch up your life somehow. You can't just play the same game every day, dude. It's just how you live in, like, NPC life. That's how I'd call it. Like, just, there's nothing going for it.
Had in Counter-Strike Go. Because The Witcher 3, with all of its DLCs and all of its incredible stories, takes about 100 hours to complete. And I was thinking to myself, I spent 30 times more time in Counter-Strike Go than I spent in The Witcher 3. And I literally couldn't believe that in the moment. And that was the moment where I literally thought, okay, maybe our parents were right when looking at it from that perspective. Because out of the 3,000 hours, you don't really remember much. You know, there are some
Yeah, well, okay. No, the main thing with 3,000 hours into a multiplayer game is you don't get anything out of it. Like, yeah, you can have fun moments, that's what she's gonna say, but like, unless you're like great, hello, unless you're like the best of the best, you basically got nothing out of it. It's a waste of time. But if you're doing it for fun, I guess it's not the end of the world.
memories that you do have that are very fond and very happy, but still when I thought about it, I could talk about a single player game where I spent 50, 60 hours in, way more than I could about Counter-Strike Go. And 3,000 hours being such an incredible amount of time. I mean, over 4 months, think about it. You could literally learn like 10 basic skills to that time. But here for the first time I literally felt like, okay, maybe there is something about it when it comes to the wasting of time. Because, I mean, you could literally play those multiplayer games like
I
Battlefield.
just don't get how people play CSGO for thousands of hours. I don't understand. Like, it's not even just CSGO, but like CSGO is the greatest example for me. It's like it's just so boring to play it. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is about me, but like, dude, whenever I play CSGO, bro, I just feel so like lost on why it's enjoyable. 'Cause like it's the same maps, same weapons, same everything, just different people. And different fights is not gonna change the game enough to make it like, oh, this is the greatest game. So relatable. That's crazy.
like COD, like CSGO, you could literally play them for thousands of hours. You could play them to infinity and they do not end. And that's a big aspect when it comes to single player games. Obviously they have their story, but those stories their end after 60, 70, 80 hours. And after it, you have
Oh, by the way, I should mention, I think single player games, is a good single player game, like with a good story, is equivalent to watching a movie, but like sometimes better. 'Cause sometimes these stories, bro, like Spider-Man, bro, it's one of those games I'll remember. Um, This guy's grammar sucks. Does it actually suck? I don't think it does. He cannot speak? I don't agree with that. I mean, who knows? Maybe English is his first language. No, but oh, see now I forgot. Oh, I remember like playing Spider-Man Remastered, bro, and I thought to myself, dude, I was basically playing a movie. Like it was movie level writing, movie level like cutscenes, but I get to play the game and like experience it. And I was like, dude, I'd rather play a single player game than watch a movie. Okay, that sounds ridiculous. It depends on the movie, but I don't know. I just find like a good single player game, bro. It's a great thing to do.
Have to figure out what you're going to do. But you see everything that there is in those 70 hours, while you could be playing the new COD for 5,000 hours, kind of mindlessly with the time just passing by.
5,000 hours is diabolical.
And so another point that pairs very well with the time problem is that we get way more addicted to online video games than we do to single player ones, and that obviously has a lot of reasons why. The problem with the time is one as well. I mean, you can be addicted to a single player game, but I mean, after 70 hours, even if you replay it once, then there comes a point where you just don't really care about the video game and you move on. Well, those multiplayer games, they literally keep you hooked for thousands of hours, and you sometimes don't become bored.
5,000 hours is rookie number, bro? Oh my god. I think the most hours I put into a game is Minecraft, but that's about it. It's like, and that's an absurd amount of hours, but that's over like 10 years. I mean, most games though, I don't play for too long. I don't know, bro. It's one of those things where it's like after like I feel like if you have more than like 3,000 hours in the game, bro, like what? How? How is it possible? I don't get it. I'm just curious, what game do you have over 5,000 hours in? That's a real question.
Because the dopamine that releases while playing those games is so high and so addictive. And let me tell you, I was hella addicted, probably from the ages of 14 to 18. I've never been addicted to something as much and as hard that I was to Counter-Strike. And after I quit those and started playing single player games, I noticed that I could kind of control myself way better. You know, I would literally tell myself, okay, I'll play the game for 2 hours and then I'll stop and I'll continue tomorrow.
How long is my hours of Phasmophobia? I think I have like 56 hours, which is honestly kind of absurd considering I don't even like that game that deeply. Oh yeah. I mean, that game, I don't know. I think okay, Phasmophobia is one of those games to me that's like it got so stale so fast. Like the first like 30 hours for me was like, "Oh my God, this is exciting." And then after that, it was just kind of like, well, I already know what's gonna happen. I played all the maps, you know. It's just like, oh, the ghosts, and also, oh my God, that game has a problem where it's like the ghosts are almost always like little scaredy cats. You play on the highest difficulty, they don't show up, and so it's like boring. But when they do show up, it's like, oh, it's exciting, but it's not scary. That's why it was fun. When I first played that game, it was so fun because it was scary. Once you get used to it, it's boring. I don't know.
And when you're playing online games, I mean, it's way harder to stop. Obviously, you also have the big factor that you play with your friends most of the time, and they obviously tell you, dude, it's only 11 in the evening, why do you want to go to sleep? And then you continue playing until 3 or 4 in the morning while completely losing the sense of time. And so it's pretty clear that online games are way more addictive than single player ones, and that's also a big part on why I quit. And then when you think about which games tell the greatest stories, obviously the single player ones are in a completely different league. Like games like Red Dead Redemption, like Elder Scrolls or The Witcher. I mean, there's not a single multiplayer game that even comes close to those titles. And who doesn't like a great story? Obviously most of the people don't play multiplayer games because of the stories there, but that's just a big aspect and a big advantage that single player games have, and definitely worth mentioning here. And probably one of the most unnoticed but most dangerous aspects that multiplayer games come with, and that's really interesting. I want you to think about that very carefully, because think about it, when you used to play or when you play multiplayer games, you know, what are the reasons that we play video games in the first place? Well, probably one of the first things that comes to mind is well to wind down, to relax, and to just have a thing that you can spend your time with.
I just thought of something like technically speaking, a multiplayer game is more it's actually money investment wise, it's better. Am I also streaming on Twitch? No, I left Twitch. Um yeah, no, Twitch is just not for me right now. Why sh okay, whatever. Um I think if you want to spend like if you want to get your money's worth in a game, multiplayer games are the way because you will spend hundreds of hours on the game without, you know, and enjoy it. But if you want to have a better experience, it's hard to say because I think the problem with single player games is once you complete it, like you said, it's like, oh, you beat it. So what do you do next? You play another game, but you keep doing the cycle. At least for me now, where I play a lot of games now, it's like I have so many games that I have to play, and I keep buying more games because it's like, oh, I complete a new game. Oh, I need a new game to play. And that's a problem because, you know, then you spend so much money on games that you don't actually like you don't need to spend all that money on games. Like that's just becomes an endless cycle of constantly spending. Cuphead's great, bro. Cuphead, oh yeah, and that reminds me, difficult games, bro. I used to think, oh, difficult games are trash. Like, why would I want to play Dark Souls? But I played them. I started playing them. I'm still playing Dark Souls 1 right now. But you know, when I started playing them, I realized, wow, the difficulty can be enjoyable because the idea of overcoming something that's super hard after putting a lot of time into it is very, very rewarding. But I do acknowledge that a lot of people hate the idea of like, oh my God, I have to spend like 12, well, I mean, sometimes like 8 hours straight of fighting a boss and losing, losing, losing before I win. But then when you beat it, you feel great. Well, Cuphead wasn't that hard. It was decently hard.
And wind down and forget all of your other problems. Well,
What
think
is the
about it.
quality of this
When you
video, bro?
play multiplayer games, literally it's the complete opposite. Like I was raging literally every single day. I was freaking destroying my table, smashing my mouse or my controller. Dude, when you play multiplayer games, you have zero emotional control. It's literally crazy. And instead of
Uh,
relaxing and winding down, it is literally the complete opposite. I mean, your body literally thinks that you are in an extremely dangerous situation because your heart is pumping, you're nervous, you're raging all of the time,
what?
while you're only sitting at home and playing a game. And the psychological aspects when it comes to multiplayer games are, in my opinion, not talked about enough because they literally give you this false sense of relaxation, while in reality they do the exact opposite. And when it comes
Yeah, I disagree with that. I mean, some of my best moments of all time was playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, bro. It was great. I actually no, now I think about it, no way. Yeah, no. I mean, but that's like single player games can be the same thing too, bro. Like for example, I was playing Batman, Arkham Asylum. I had to do these combat challenges, and I spent like hours and hours and hours, and I was so frustrated with it. Like, so it's like you can't say that. Spider-Man games are fun, but all of them have different mechanics. Which if you want to play multiple Spider-Man games, you have to memorize the mechanics for each one. I mean, that's not really a big deal, honestly. I don't think I don't think that's a big deal.
to the accessibility, I mean, it's not really a big point in today's day and age because, you know, everybody got Wi-Fi. And guys, think about the problem that we sometimes used to have with the ping. When you would have lags, it was literally one of the worst feelings in the world. Well, guess what? You don't have that feeling in playing single player games at all. You can literally have the slowest internet connection. Once you download a game, you pretty much don't really care about Wi-Fi, about your internet connection. You can play the game
Oh, that
whenever you
reminds me.
want.
Oh
The
my
accessibility
God, some annoying is single player games that now require Wi-Fi for some reason. That just annoys me. Like, why do I need the internet connection to play some of these games, bro? It's ridiculous. I don't understand it. I feel like the internet's now becoming part of just everything. Like, you just need it for everything, and I don't get it. I also hate games where you have to use other launchers to get in. Like, for example, on PC, you use Steam, right? Oh, okay, convenient. You just press a button, you run it. Well, no, because some idiot game companies, mainly EA, wait, no, what was it? Ubisoft. No, it was Ubisoft. Like, they love to make you, like, sign up for their little launcher so they can bombard you with emails. And also, they force you to go through their launcher. It's like, oh my god. Rockstar Games also, oh my god, please stop. They make you sign up for a dumb Rockstar account or whatever it's called. Oh my god, I hate it. You download like all your games from Steam Epic Games. I mean, yeah, we live in a time where it's like, why would you download any game if you're on PC? Why would you download any game off of anything besides like Epic Games and Steam? Because those are the two main ones that have all basically all the games you'll ever want. And if a game's not on there, it's like, well, why get it? Like for example, Red Dead Redemption 1, the longest time was only downloadable off the Rockstar thing, which is like I would never buy that just because I'm like, dude, why that's so inconvenient. I don't know. Steam is ridiculously convenient. It's actually kind of scary how convenient it is. Like everything on there feels like it's like was practiced. Um, all mobile users use App Store or Play Store. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, it's usually there's like two main things that people use to download like PlayStation, you use your PlayStation Store, Xbox, I don't know what it is, but whatever.
Ability is definitely also a big aspect and a big advantage that single player games have. Okay, and when it comes to the atmosphere and the open worlds that feature in single player games, same as with the stories, it's really not a comparison. If you also think about the best and most beautiful open worlds of all time, almost every single one of them is a single player world. And so the world building and the atmosphere are 100% a big aspect and a big advantage that single player games have. Another last and, well, probably one of the most important aspects, maybe the most important one, why I quit multiplayer games is the external pressure that we have. And when it comes to external pressure, I mean several points. On one hand, obviously there
I
is.
think the main problem with multiplayer games, to sum it up, is that they don't respect your time, and they basically they try to use dirty tactics to force you to come back constantly. They always like they use psychology to make you like want to come back constantly. It's called fear of missing out, or I think it was like I forgot the FOMO or something. That's the big thing they use. Um, that's the biggest tactic they use, but they also use other tactics like you can see when people, you know, you can get people can invite you into their games when they're online, whatnot. What's a P2W? Every what? I don't know what a P2W is. I don't know. Oh, pay to win. Oh. Okay, not every multiplayer. By the way, pay to win. I don't think pay to win is that bad. Like it depends on the thing. Like for example, Clash of Clans. Okay, this is like the main one that comes to mind as a good pay to win system because pay to win because you don't have to do it and technically you're not really like destroying everyone else by buying the in-game currency to get to the best town hall. But, it's more satisfying to work your way up. But if you don't want to, you could choose not to. And it's not going to change everything for everyone else. Yeah, it depends what you pay to win, exactly. I find that a lot of pay to win games, it's actually a lot more satisfying to play the game and actually grind it. But the problem with pay to win games also is that in the end game they always make it super super long and tedious to like actually progress in any way, and then it gets really obnoxious. And then oh yeah, and there's loot boxes as well. Oh my god, I hate loot boxes. This game you play called Cross Up, you kept grinding, grinding. I was losing like 25 out of 30 matches. So you're basically saying, oh yeah, oh my god. Okay, so you're basically saying they could buy OP weapons by paying. That's to me is ridiculous. That's where I'm like, why? Why would you do that? I think it should be illegal to do that, or just like against some sort of terms of service, or I don't know how they manage. I don't know who would stop them, game companies from doing that, because it's just like, dude, that's way too greedy of a tactic. Games that persuade you to subscribe or to them or follow them or join a group they have. Yeah. I don't know. I know, but also single player games do the same thing. It's not like multiplayer games have the same problem, like this problem alone. It's gaming in general. Like, like single player games nowadays have like overpriced, massive bundles. Like, oh, you can get the pre-order edition for $120, or you could get a couple. Like Fallout 76 is the one I think of. That was a scam where it's like, oh, you get this like cool gear if you pay like 100 something dollars, and you get the game. Or GTA 6, for example, like, dude, if it costs $100, bro, I'm not buying it. Or like, or there's rumors it's like $120 for just to get a pre-order. Things like that to me are dirty tactics. Any game that's more than $60, I think, is a dirty tactic instantly, because there's no game that's worth $70 in my opinion. I just don't think so. GTA 6 will support GTA Plus in its subscription where the rewards aren't worth it. Yeah. Oh, jeez. I mean, yeah, I'm just nervous for the future because I saw some guy say this where if GTA 6 decides to release at $70, just default, right? Which I already think is overpriced personally. So there's no game that's $70 in my opinion, but maybe it will be worth $70. But if they do, what's going to happen is because it's going to be such a great selling game, all these companies are going to be like, "Oh, I can make so much more money if I pay more money. If I make the player play more money." And then it's going to go downhill from there because everyone's going to copy that and they're not going to make as high quality games. And that's what I'm worried it's going to happen. Nothing will beat the three giants Minecraft, GTA 5, or Tetris. No, I don't agree with that. There's definitely things that could beat it. I think the reason why those are the big three though is because um, it's like there's there's enough audience members. Like a lot of games are very specific with the audience they get like how do I describe this? The audience that they get and like to buy their game is very specific. GTA 5, I mean 99% of people play video games admit that they would want to rob people, that they want to break into cars. That sounds appealing. Minecraft, I mean, dude, it appeals to all ages, bro. That's why it's so massive. Tetris, same thing. It's like when you have stuff like that, it's like that appeal to so many different types of people. It's like you're bound to be the biggest. They have more than 100 million, yeah.
Is the pressure that you kind of have to adapt when it comes to your pace. You can't really play the game at your own pace because there are certain standards, and when you're a guy that has played the game for a couple of hundred or a couple of thousands of hours even, and you're still in the lower ranks of the game, dude, you get you get so much hate in the game that really builds a lot of pressure. And I mean, you could play any single player game, you could play it for 500 hours and be an absolute noob. No one and nobody will care. You literally can decide yourself
Yeah, I've
how.
always said this, by the way. Hours do not determine your skill level. Just because you have 1,000 hours in CSGO does not automatically mean you're the best player of all time or you're remotely good. I think that's a misconception. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of people will say things like, oh, well, this guy has hundreds of hours, so he must be more skilled than this guy, so we're going to kick this guy from team. Also, that reminds me of toxicity, bro. That's another thing about multiplayer games. Toxicity, bro, is so prevalent. Like, yeah, I mean, it's, most of the time it's like, who cares? Like, toxicity, who really cares? Like, move on. Someone calls you a name. Oh no, someone on the internet called me a name. But sometimes it's ridiculous. Like, for example, you could get kicked out of a team that you're playing on, like a good team, just because they don't like you. And there's nothing you could do. Like, CSGO is a great example again, or even Valorant, where it's like they literally can kick you off your team if they don't like you. You could literally be playing perfectly fine. If they don't like you, oh, if everyone votes, you're kicked off, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's a feature of the game. That's toxicity. Just because you did an all-nighter on, oh yeah, Call of Duty. Oh my God, Call of Duty. I loved Call of Duty. I've played the Modern Warfare's, well, not Modern Warfare 3, but the point is I played Modern Warfare 2019, I played Modern Warfare 2022. I liked them. But I have to admit that and the problem with Call of Duty is that you buy a game that's $70 And yes, you get a whole package of multiple things. You get Warzone, you get a single player, you get zombies, depending on what game it is or whatever thing. You get multiplayer too. That's arguably worth $70. Okay, sure, because of how much things. But the reality is, first off, the average player will not play all those things. First off, so I don't either. So that's the first issue. Second issue is you have to realize that you're getting this like nowadays. Every Call of Duty is the same experience. It's very, very similar with slight changes. And if you buy it, you're basically getting a year worth of fun, and then it just dies out. The game dies out. So why am I paying for a game that only is going to last for a year, in multiplayer at least, and decent campaigns at best? Like, I don't want to play a game where the campaign doesn't even hold up that well. Like, I don't, it's just a disaster. Like, it's sad to realize, like, these games die out so fast. There's a reason why Terraria is going to be one of the top bestsellers. Um, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, yeah, I just like Black Ops 6, for example. I was hyped for it for a second, then I realized, why would I buy it? Like that's what really happened. Everyone else around me was like, oh, I'm paying $70 for Black Ops 6, and I realized, well, you're an idiot because you're not gonna have fun in a year from now. You're not gonna even play it. What a waste of $70. Like it's just like for me, it's like Modern Warfare 2019 was one of my favorite multiplayers I ever played, and now it's just full of hackers. And the game's only what, like 6 years old almost? That's not even that long. Like, it's sad. It's sad that I paid what, well, it was only $60, but for that, just to die out, like, whatever.
You're going to play the game without having any external pressure. But more importantly, in my opinion, when it comes to the external pressure is that, well, think about it. When you play multiplayer games, what are your happiest and fondest memories? Obviously, it's when you play with your friends, when you play with people you like and you know and that you like to spend time with. And literally, when I think about the happiest times that I had in multiplayer games, it were those times where I was playing with my
Okay, I
friends.
have to say this. I was just seeing Cyberpunk 2077. I have to say, I didn't like it. I bought it like a year ago, almost, and I tried playing it. And I know that's fixed, and it's supposedly great. It's also same with No Man's Sky. It's supposedly these two games are supposedly disastrous at launch, and they're fixed. And both of them, I could not stand. I had to refund Cyberpunk 2077 because it was so bad. And No Man's Sky, I unfortunately couldn't refund, but I did not like that either. I've tried playing them both twice. And I don't get why people like these games. Like No Man's Sky, it's just so boring. I don't know what, like, I don't know. And then Cyberpunk, it's like there's just something about it so felt so trash. I don't know how to describe it. Red Dead Redemption 2 has better physics. Well, it's not about physics. I think the problem for me with 2077 was like I didn't like how linear it felt like. It just felt like, oh, the story's being shoved down my throat in a bad way. I don't know how else to describe it. Like I don't know. I like a good story does not it like flows with you, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. It looks too bland. I don't know. It looked appealing to me. I don't know. I mean maybe I have to play it more. I only played it for like 50 minutes and I got instantly repulsed. So I think I made it out of the tutorial. Who really I don't even remember. People are already ready for 2026. I mean they always are.
Friends and we would meet up every single evening to play our favorite games. And I wasn't thinking anything of it until, well, there came a time where suddenly those friends stopped playing this game and sometimes even stopped gaming in general. And well, then you're there alone. And what are the choices that you have then? Well, you could try solo, which is probably a bad idea most of the time. But other than that, there comes this sense of, well, yeah, almost depression, where you had those friends, sometimes you didn't even know them in real life, and you spend all of those great memories with them, and they're just gone. And that's a big aspect when it comes to multiplayer games, is that your happiness and your luck are dependent on other players. You know, it's really tough to have proper fun playing Counter-Strike Go in solo mode, for example. And when you play single player games, I mean, you don't care, you know, you play alone, but you have fun. And obviously, when you play with your friends, everything is great until it's not anymore, and there comes the sense of loneliness, and then it's quite hard to fit that hole. And that's also a big aspect that I appreciate about single player games. You know, I have my friends in real life, and I spend the time that I have with them doing real activities and real stuff. And when I'm playing, I don't really care who is online, I don't really care what's going on. I have fun at my own pace.
I have to say this here, just because it's almost over. I think Fortnite's the only multiplayer game that I actually still play often that I think is somewhat good for a multiplayer game. I just gotta say it. That's my take. Um, it's seriously, like, honestly, in the last year or so, it's probably the only competitive multiplayer game I actually played at all. Yeah, I think that's true, honestly. Which, now that I think about it, that's crazy. Like, I literally didn't play any other, I mainly played single player games. Wow, that is diabolical. Um, the reason why I say Fortnite is so good, by the way, is because it does everything right, right? It it like holds your hand. Like, yes, there's a huge skill gap, which is a huge problem with competitive games. When you leave, that people get better. But like, the thing is 99% of times if you leave for too long, they just throw you in lobbies with bad people or people near your level, and you stick that way. So you never actually see these top tier players, and the people who complain about it probably are just super, super, super bad. Plus, you have zero build mode, which is a huge help. And also, I have to say, I think that the Battle Pass system is the best Battle Pass I've ever seen in any game. Like, I think that the fact that you can get, in-game currency from, like, extra in-game currency from the price point if you complete the Battle Pass is actually brilliant because it means you technically, once you buy a Battle Pass once, don't ever have to buy and, like, pay for more V-Bucks ever. And you get profit. I think that's cool. So you don't waste a ton of money on the game.
And being happy and playing those games is not dependent on anyone else. And so, while obviously the atmosphere, the open worlds, and the stories are a big aspect, those kind of more psychological aspects and psychological reasons on why I quit multiplayer games are things that are not really talked about much in the gaming communities. And I know that a lot of other people had problems and mental issues regarding those.
The only multiplayer games that you enjoy is Fortnite, PUBG, 8-Ball Mobile, okay. Roblox, Apex Legends, Fall Guys, GTA Online, Sea of Thieves. Okay, dude, that's a lot. Genshin Impact? Wow. I wouldn't consider Genshin Impact really multiplayer. It's more, unless something changed, it feels more single player. Well, I remember, but that was years ago. The last time I played that, I believe, was like 2021. So, who really knows if it changed or not? It is multiplayer? I didn't know that. What the?
Things. And so if you also could kind of recognize yourself with the aspects that I just mentioned, maybe playing single player games isn't the worst reason. Now when I look back, I literally would like to have spent those 3,000 hours that I spent in Counter-Strike Go in other single player games or doing other stuff. Because, you know, while I did have a lot of great and fond memories, it doesn't even come close to the emotions that I felt while playing The Witcher 3, for example, or while playing Resident Evil, even though I only spent a fraction of the time.
Yeah, I have to talk about Roblox. I think Roblox is solid. It's just the problem with it is it's basically mobile game simulator. I've always said this. I think it's solid if you're really, really bored. If you're extremely bored, you don't know what to do, Roblox is the solution because everything on there is crappy. Well, not everything. There's good stuff, I guess, but like it's good for a mobile game. Mobile games aren't known for being like, oh, this is fantastic. It's good for a couple hours. Maybe you put like 20 hours to a game on there, and then it's like, oh, time to move on. I think what Fortnite's doing with the whole system they have is better than actually Roblox in the sense that I actually think creative mode on Fortnite is basically Roblox but better because there's like more like cosmetics and stuff that like you can be attached to. I don't know. I never liked the whole Roblox system where, oh, you have to be a blocky man or a blocky woman. Like, I don't get it. Chess in your free time is also enjoyable. Yeah, I play chess occasionally. I'll go on random sprees where chess is like my main thing I play. But the problem is like every time it's like I forget all the things I learned, so I have to relearn everything, and I end up getting decent, and I just get bored. If you ever need to get better at chess, the person to watch on YouTube is Gotham Chess. That's the one. That's the person you gotta watch. I'm at 1.1k elo. That's not even true. I'm at like, I think like 500. I'm not that high. I used to do there. No, the most tragic thing that ever happened to me is when I lost my So I used to do daily puzzles every day on chess.com on the app, and I had like a streak of like over 100, and I lost it because I lost my internet connection in class while I was doing it. I didn't know it didn't complete. And then I lost the streak and I was devastated, so I just gave up on chess. I thought you were higher? No, I'm not even that great at it. Like, most people are better than me. Most people are better than me at chess, and it's mainly because I get blindsided. I usually like have insane like attacks, but then I mean the reality is if you're bad at chess 99% of the times, and it includes me, the reason why you're bad at chess is because you don't actually pay attention to the enemy's moves. You focus so much on yourself and what the enemy will do to respond to your attacks that you forget that the enemy's actually moving pieces to do something. And if it's not that, you just miss a piece or like blunder a piece completely because you're not paying attention. The amount of times I've blundered queens is astronomical. Like it's something that bad people do because once you get good, you actually look at these things and go, "Oh, you can see, oh, I'm blundering this piece before it happens." But that doesn't happen to me. That's the problem. Alright, whatever. I don't know why I'm giving chess lessons when I'm not even that good, so whatever.
Time in those games that I spent in CSGO. But as I said, whether you like single or multiplayer games more is well completely personal and varies from person to person. But those are just some reasons on why I quit video games, which in my opinion was a great decision, and it also could be a great one for you. But I'm very interested in hearing about your opinion on that topic because, well, in Reddit or other social medias, I read a lot of stuff where people had very big mental problems while playing those multiplayer games, especially because of those external pressure points that I just mentioned. And how do you see it? Do you had similar experiences while playing multiplayer games, or do you still prefer online games and play them every day? Tell me your opinions down
Okay,
in the
whatever game
comments.
this is,
I
it
always
looks exactly like a movie, dude.
love reading them and
That
hearing
literally
about
looks
your
like a movie.
opinions. Alright guys, that was it from me in today's video. I wish you all an amazing day. I'll see
Am
you
I
in the next
watching a
one.
movie or a
Bye
game?
bye.
Damn. Whatever. It looks like it could be in Squid Game. I have no idea what I don't know much about Squid Game. Hey, okay, let me move my water so I get out of the way. I've been drinking too much water this stream. I mean, the video is alright. I don't know. I don't think he made the best points ever, but like they weren't horrible either. Um, let's see. Hmm. I don't stress out for the whole day at work just to get trashed by a 13-year-old that's not even cheating, but that much better though, through sheer amount of hours he's amassed. I think the main problem with competitive online games is really just like, there's gonna be people who are always better than you, they completely destroy you, and they're gonna be toxic, and it's just so frustrating, like, you think you're good, and you're like, oh man, I'm actually fun, I'm just destroying people, and then, oh, this one kid just demolishes you over and over and over, and then you take it personal. It's like, that's not fun, like, ugh. Comment it could be better? Well, that's offensive. Oh, I mean, I don't, I don't like commenting negative things on people. I don't know. I'm one of those people, by the way, who I just can't bother to comment negative things on people's videos. I don't comment in general. I don't know. To me, commenting makes me nervous. It's like, what do I say? What do I say? I don't know. The top comments are usually biased, so check the newer comments. Well, there's only 30 comments on here because it's a small video. Mm. Yeah, they're basically all saying the same thing. Playing video games is always stressful. If you're not stressed even a little, you're probably not invested and you're bored. I actually agree with this. I do agree. Because, I mean, 99% of well, I shouldn't say it. A lot of games you play, whether even if idle games can be stressful. Like, oh, well, you know, you're stressing out about, like, am I making enough money fast enough, whatever. Are you ever revealing your PC setup? What do you mean, am I ever? Well, it's not like I ever said I was going to. Whatever. Alright, let's move on to this from this video. To this video. Okay, I kind of wanted to do this. So your specs, go on settings about me, and there's a spec list. I don't. Okay, whatever. Just you know, if I'm gonna do that, I just don't trust going to settings. I don't trust going to about me without revealing something that probably is like too much. So I'm just gonna do that quickly. Um, I guess I'll do it. I mean, I don't. I know I don't have the best specs. This computer's kind of old. It's like, well, oh wow, this computer's 7 years old. Oh my God, I just realized that's crazy. Wow. Oh my God, I feel super old now. Wow. Can we do any entertaining videos before we get to this one? Okay, I guess, sure, I guess. Wait, so you said go to, settings, about me? I don't even see that. About me? Oh, about your PC. Okay. Let me show this. Beep. I don't know what half this is. I mean, yeah, by the way, bro, I didn't realize I had this much RAM until recently, dude. Like, that's crazy, bro. Oh my God, 64 is crazy. Is this everything, though? I don't think this is everything. Whatever. I don't know what half this stuff is. I'm not gonna lie. When's my next Phasmophobia stream? I have not done that in like 2 years. I'm not gonna lie. I think so. I don't really plan on playing Phasmophobia. I think I'm bored of it completely. Like I cannot be bothered to play Phasmophobia ever. Probably gonna uninstall the game to be honest. Um, no. So where does this say the graphics card though? Am I stupid? I don't know. Rename this PC. This PC's named Hall the Boss is crazy. Alright, yeah, I've showed enough. Whatever. Alright, so you want me to move on to a different video besides this? I'll save this one for last, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's probably gonna be a bad video. Just do this. Corrupt cop. Alright, well, actually, you know what? Let's do a decision thing. We could do Deceptive World of Ghost Kitchens, Corrupt Cops, or I guess this. I don't know if I want to watch this though, because it was probably not gonna suit me. Young people just don't want to work anymore. Do I really want to watch this right now? Corrupt Cops? Yeah, I was thinking that. I hope I don't get copyrighted. Cause I don't know. This guy's a massive channel. I don't know. Whenever you watch I've seen this guy's channel before, but whenever you watch a massive channel, you gotta be wary of like they could be copyright demons. Who really knows? Corrupt cop causes. Oh yeah, it is causes. Causes a massive lawsuit. Here you go. I mean, here I go. Yeah, oh yeah, this is the guy who
Welcome to Audit the Audit,
does
where we sort out
legal.
the who and what
He
and the
like does he finds out like the legalities of things, I
right
think.
and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers taser use, reasonable suspicion, and disorderly conduct, and is brought to us by Local 3 News' channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. On April 13th, 2018, Officer Cody Thomas of the Chattanooga Police Department responded to a 911 call claiming that a man named Polo, who was wearing green and black, had threatened a citizen with a gun in Chattanooga, Tennessee. While investigating the call, Officer Thomas observed local resident Nate Carter checking the mailbox in front of his home while wearing a purple shirt. The interaction that followed was captured on Officer Thomas's
Wait. What shirt was he wearing?
Polo, who was wearing green and black.
Okay, so I already see where this is going. Yeah. I already see where this is going. Basically, they're gonna falsely arrest him or detain him for no reason, basically.
Shirt. The interaction that followed was captured on Officer Thomas's body camera.
Are you Polo? Now, what's your name? What's going on?
I don't know. They called you. I ain't called you. I'm calling.
Who are we calling about?
Oh.
Calling about me, buddy.
Calling about you?
Not calling about me. Open your ears to your mouth.
Hey, how about you watch your mouth for your gets on the back of my car?
It's one of these.
You go here talking about who am I, Polo? And I told you no.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, listen, you been going.
No, get your ass over here. You're now part of this. Come here. Come here right now. Come here.
You can't go for what?
I'll shoot your dogs.
What? Oh yeah, no, this cop's cooked. That is, yeah, it's already over for him, bro. It's one of those cops goes back and forth with citizen. No, I think what's gonna happen is he's gonna escalate the situation with the citizen for no reason and falsely put him in handcuffs for basically no reason because there's a First Amendment right in the United States at least, which basically means you could say whatever, well, to a certain extent, you can say whatever you want to a cop and be fine. As far as I'm aware, like you could flip him off legally, I'm pretty sure. But once you start getting to like, you know, what's the word, like endangering people with your words and whatnot, or being a public threat, nuisance, whatever, that's where it becomes a problem. Why does it say you're playing CSGO in the description of this video, of this stream? No, it doesn't. I don't know where you're seeing that. Wait. Why is my Twitch linked here, by the way? Alright, whatever. I'm being distracted. Why would he shoot the dog? Because he's angry, bro. He's just making threats. No, I hate watching these videos because the cop is always just like thinks that they have like the authority to just like arrest people just because, oh well, you can't disrespect cops. That's not how it works. And I also hate people, by the way, who just treat cops like they're just average citizens. Oh my God, this guy's kind of doing too, where he's just like, yeah, just go away, please. Well, not like that, but you know, he's. Wait, what did he say again? Can I please? What, dude? I literally clicked the back button.
You talking about who am I, Polo? And I told you no.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, listen, you.
I mean, yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, people like this right here, where, like, I'm gonna listen to you, bro. It's like, dude, that's how you get in a situation you don't want to be in. I don't understand these people. Why is it that I feel like every time I watch a cop video, though, every single person that it gets encountered in, almost always somewhat disrespectful or ignorant towards police in some aspect, it's just triggering. Because it's like, how are you this stupid? It, like, dude, just take cops seriously.
Come here.
You can't go for what?
I'll shoot your dogs.
Shoot my dog, boy. You can't come in my yard.
Get over here now.
Get out of my yard.
Get over here right now.
For real?
Taser deployed. Start me at 20.
I guarantee he's gonna tase the dog. Also, yeah,
After Officer
that's
Thomas
crazy.
attempts to detain Mr. Carter with a verbal command, Mr. Carter refuses to comply and begins to walk back towards his home, and Officer Thomas tases him in the back. The Chattanooga Police Department's use of force policy repeatedly requires officers to use only the minimum level of force that is reasonably necessary to achieve certain lawful objectives, such as conducting lawful public safety activities, protecting persons and property, overcoming physical resistance, effecting arrests, maintaining control of an arrested person, preserving the peace, preventing the commission of an offense, and preventing serious physical injury or death. In describing the amount of force that officers are authorized to use against citizens, the policy states that, quote, "Under no circumstances shall the force used be greater than necessary to achieve lawful objectives." And, now quoting again, officers must always use the minimum amount of force necessary to accomplish these objectives. The policy also explains that, quote, "Whenever possible, police officers shall employ a progression of force, commonly referred to as the use of force continuum. The continuum is based on the concept of increasing the police officer's level of control in response to the level of resistance of the
I'm
Oh,
suspect."
gonna be honest, I mean, I think everyone who's watching this knows this guy should not have tased him at all because there was no threat, there was nothing lawful he was doing about what he was doing at all. I mean, if he was trying to like detain him, right? There's obviously, I hope everyone can agree with this. There is obviously no reason to detain him. He's not a suspect.
Or violator. If a suspect or violator increases his level of resistance or threat to the officer is justified in increasing his level of control. When determining the amount of force that is appropriate to use in a particular situation, the policy notes that officers should consider the nature of the offense, the behavior of the subject against whom force is to be used, physical size and conditioning, the feasibility or availability of alternative actions, location, and the availability of additional officers. The policy also includes a chart that lists the type of force that's appropriate for various levels of resistance. In this situation,
Wait, what does it say? Psychological intimidation. Officer presence. What? Okay, sure. Verbal non-compliance, verbal direction. Okay, so he already is not following this. I mean, if anything, this guy could maybe did verbal non-compliance, but dude, he did okay, obviously. Let's see, soft empty hand control. What does that even mean? Defensive resistance, hard empty hand control, and CEW. I don't know what this means. Intermediate weapons includes K9. Active aggression. Okay, this is interesting. K9s are very deadly, dude. That's why I'm kind of shocked that they're saying active aggression. I guess that makes sense. How do they even graduate from the police academy? I mean, you could argue, how do fat people graduate from the police academy? It needs to be talked about. How is that possible? Because let's be honest, so you see a lot of these videos you see, how is it possible that there's all these fat cops you see in these videos who, or people who can't run fast at all or run very, very slowly and immediately come out of breath. Now, I always hear this as, oh, well, you don't understand what it's like to run with like 40 pounds of gear on you. And yes, I understand that that's brutal, but like you should be trained for this. And more importantly, in an ideal world, a fat person should never be accepted into the police academy because they'll never be able to chase someone. They're more likely to become fatigued and just there's a lot of other aspects you have to worry about, right? I bet they had to take a break after tasing lessons. It's crazy.
Chart that lists the type of force that's appropriate for various levels of resistance. In this situation, Mr. Carter's actions would likely be considered quote-unquote passive resistance, which the policy defines as, quote, physical actions that do not attempt to prevent officers' attempt of control, but are not in compliance with an officer's orders or actions. The chart lists the corresponding officer response for passive resistance as quote-unquote soft, empty hand control, which the policy defines as a use of force without the aid of any equipment or weapons. That includes, now
Okay.
quoting, empty hand escort controls, pressure points, and come-alongs that have a minimal chance of inflicting injury. The use of a taser, also known as a conducted electrical weapon, or CEW, is not permitted unless the subject is engaged in quote-unquote defensive resistance, which the policy defines as, quote, physical actions which attempt to prevent officers' control, which are non-threatening in nature. Further, the policy specifically limits the use of CEWs to situations where verbal commands have failed to bring about the subject's compliance, the subject has exhibited so-called defensive resistance, and probable cause was established on the subject before they evaded or resisted the officer. Now, it should be noted that the version of the use of force policy that's publicly available was not issued until June of 2020, about 2 years after this encounter occurred. However, assuming that a similar policy was in place at the time of this interaction, it is highly likely that Officer Thomas's decision to tase Mr. Carter was a violation of the Chattanooga PD's use of force policy, as Officer Thomas did not have probable cause to arrest Mr. Carter at the time he
Yeah.
approached him, and Mr. Carter did not appear to engage in defensive resistance.
Hey, show me your hands! Clear the air. Start me some cars.
Wait. Is that a... Whoa. Okay. Well, that escalated really quickly. There's no way he's holding on. Am I delusional? Did he fire a shot?
Engage in defensive resistance.
Hey, show me your hands!
I don't know what that is. I think he's just yelling. It's cutting into the mic.
Clear the air.
Why
Start me
is
some
he
cars.
holding a gun? He dropped his taser? Oh my god. Yeah, no, this cop has multiple issues. You should never, as a cop, drop your weapon, dude, because you don't. All it takes is like like a psychopath to come over and try to steal your weapon, and you're cooked. Or in this case, you just dump bullets into the guy, assuming he even has remotely good accuracy at all. Show me your hands. It's crazy.
Suspect just went back in the house. Get your ass out here. Show me your hands. Get your ass out here now. Get your ass over here now. Or I will shoot you
Oh.
now. Get your ass out here now. Put your hands up. Walk toward me with your hands up.
Oh my god. Okay, dude, enough of the...
Here. Suspect just went back in the house. Hold on, I'm moving my car in front of the house. I'm moving my car in front of the house. Have you gonna go to the back of the house? We got 2 units up front. Suspect has gone back in and out of the house.
For all this for what, though? Like...
Taser has been deployed. We're still working on getting him inside, outside.
Come out.
Get your over here now! Get your over here now! He went back in. Hey, sweetie, come here. Come here. It's okay. Y'all come here. Hey, y'all come here. Everything's okay.
Why are we treating this like a hostage situation? It's okay. You're safe. What? What? I'm so confused. What was even the original reason why? What was the original thing? I need to look.
The Who use. Be sure to check out Cody Tolo of the Chattanooga Police Department responded to a 911 call claiming that a man named Polo, who was wearing green and black, had threatened a citizen with a gun in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Okay. Oh, with a gun. Oh, it didn't even click in my head. Bro, that cop is giving ear rape without editing. Yeah, I mean, he's probably just speaking directly near the mic or something. Who really knows? Recordings with these poor audio is irritating, 100%.
Come here. It's okay. Y'all come here. Hey, y'all come here. Everything's okay. You stay right there.
Oh
Hey,
my
you go over
god.
there. You go over there. Come here.
This is ridiculous.
Come here now. Get away from the dog. I'm taking my mask off. Man, what you sleeping on the ground for? This is necessary.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. As long as he doesn't resist arrest, he honestly could easily win a lawsuit here. So you should be thankful that this is happening to. I know it sounds ridiculous, but like, dude, if this happened to me, where I'm like, if I was being forcefully like detained for no reason, bro, I'd in the back of my mind, I'd be like, this was scary, obviously, but in the back of my mind, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm getting money. Like, this is unwatchable. How is it unwatchable?
I took my mail.
Cause I checked my mail and talked with somebody else. I'm tight. You got the handcuffs too tight.
Who cares? Get in the car.
Who cares?
Get in the car.
Man, for real.
For real. Get in the car. Oh, I popped my
God.
cherry. Taser.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I understand where
He
you're coming
did.
from though by
He
saying
got-
this
he got
guy is
popped
just
and then rode it for a minute.
the whole
And
yelling
he slammed the
situation's
door and the bars
ridiculous.
popped off. So I don't know if it actually hit him or not. Huh? Medical for him? He got barbs in his back. His info and why I'm here. This guy. Yeah.
Come on, baby.
So I'll go talk to him. I need to calm down. Alright.
I'm the one that
You
called,
called, correct?
Yeah.
Was this about him, correct?
No. It was another guy, but he ran through. He had the Glock. He was standing by that telephone pole, and he was talking about shooting up. Me and her was in there playing cards. He was talking about.
So I hate to say it, but basically a gang member, bro. Okay. Why they have to be so loud in the neighborhood? I don't know. I mean, to be fair, they are trying to basically. They say that basically when you yell or be loud, that you're trying to like dominate over the other people, which sounds crazy, but they're basically saying that like you want control over the situation. So basically, they're yelling because they want control over the situation over the other person. That's what I'm thinking.
Because when I walked up, you said, yes, that's him.
No, I said
Yes, you did. Because I walked up and I said, who you hear about? And you said, yeah, that's why I'm here. And so when I started confronting him about going in the house, that's when all this erupted.
Because when you started going toward him to the steps, I was hollering, "That's not him."
Yeah, just grab his info. Thank you. I pulled up here and he was standing out in the middle of the road. And I was like, well, I'm guessing this guy could be it.
What was the? I didn't even hear what the initial call was.
Somebody said they had a gun. They were threatening to shoot this guy. I said, hey, are you Polo? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone. Like, he's calling you, shoot. He's like going like this, like, shoot. And I was like, well, I'm trying to figure out why I'm here. And he's like, he called you, not me. Now go deal with him. So I'm like, what is your name? He made some
I'm not gonna
comments.
lie. This sounds like he's just like didn't get the full picture. Like, he clearly didn't know about the whole like, oh, he's wearing this shirt. Maybe he did know about it and he just forgot or
I said,
something.
what? And he said, how about you open up your ears and shut your mouth? And then so I asked him for his ID, and he was like, man, what you talking about? Leave me alone. Well, in my mind, that's the guy who has the gun. I said, how about you come over here to give me your ID? And he's like, no, I'm going back in my mouth, or going back in my house. And he kind of stepped towards me and started walking back in the house. So I'm thinking he's going to go do something with the gun. So I tased him right in the back. He rode it for a solid 3 seconds, and then tripped up the stairs. And then he came back in the house, and so I pulled my car to where I can get behind it. So I didn't know if he was gonna come back out and try to shoot. And then he came back out, but he was like still hiding behind the door. So I was like, he has a gun in his hand, and something bad's about to go down. That's when he kept going in and out, in and out. Y'all walked up, and his girls walked out.
One's a boy.
Oh, was it?
Officer Thomas summarizes his encounter with Mr.
Wait,
Carter.
what was it?
One's a boy.
Oh, was it?
Officer
Oh,
Thomas
my.
summarizes his encounter with Mr. Carter, claiming that he saw Mr. Carter standing in the middle of the road and thought, and I'm quoting, "I'm guessing this guy could be it." In the landmark 1968 decision of Terry versus Ohio, where the Supreme Court first established that officers may briefly detain individuals based on so-called reasonable suspicion of criminal activity, the court explained that in evaluating the reasonableness of a particular seizure in light of the particular circumstances...
Hey, bro, you're calling me having competition for yapping is crazy, bro. If you think I'm a bad yapper, just watch other reactors, bro. I'm not me. Okay, depends on who you watch, because I feel like reacting. By the way, see, this is this by definition yapping, but I'm just saying anyways. I feel like reacting has two sides. It's either the people who talk way too much or the people who don't talk at all, and there's no in between, in my opinion. And I feel like I fall on the I think you know where I fall. Okay, I don't even need to explain. If you're, it's a test of intelligence. If you can figure that out, I think you're smart, somewhat. At least you're not talking a lot. Okay. All right. So we didn't get the point.
Quote, "It is imperative that the facts be judged against an objective standard. Would the facts available to the officer at the moment of the seizure warrant a man of reason?"
I'm a big, very big and open talker. What does that even mean? let's say,
reasonable caution in the belief that the action taken was appropriate. Anything less would invite intrusions upon constitutionally guaranteed rights based on nothing more substantial than inarticulate hunches, a result this court has consistently refused to sanction. The court also noted that, now quoting again, simple good faith on the part of the arresting officer is not enough. If subjective good faith alone were the test, the protections of the Fourth Amendment would evaporate, and the people would be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects only in the discretion of the police. The Supreme Court further articulated the definition of reasonable suspicion in the 1981 case of U.S. versus Cortez, stating that, quote, the essence of all that has been written is that the totality of the circumstances, the whole picture, must be taken into account. Based upon that whole picture, the detaining officer.
alright, I don't know what I'm reading anymore, bro. I don't even. I have great negotiating skills with my ops. What does that even mean, bro? Like, what? I don't have ops right now. Like, what? Like, I don't have people who are like, oh, they're gonna shoot me.
Must have a particularized and objective basis for suspecting the particular person stopped of criminal activity. The court then identified two elements that must be present for a stop to be permissible under the Fourth Amendment: that the assessment was based upon all of the circumstances, and that the circumstances must, now quoting, raise a suspicion that the particular individual being stopped is engaged in wrongdoing. Although the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals held in the 2015 case of U.S. versus Chambers that, quote, a suspect's presence near the location of a reported crime can be a salient factor giving rise to reasonable suspicion, in this situation, Mr. Carter did not match the description of the suspect, who was reported as wearing a green shirt, and the victim claimed that he told Officer Thomas that Mr. Carter was not the perpetrator. As such, even if Officer Thomas had a good faith.
I mean, the real question, the only reason why I'm even remotely interested in this is, does he keep the man? Do they keep the man and bring him to jail? That's a real question. Because if they do, now we got a problem. It means clandestinely. What is that word, bro? That's not even a word. No, I'm being distracted, but you know what? Sometimes it's healthy to get distracted. Clandestiny. Let's put that in a dictionary quickly, or search it up. Meaning, because I don't believe that's a word. Oh my God, it is. It is. In a secretive and illicit way. Okay, why does it say? Why is it traffickers operate? Okay, can we just
clandestinely?
Clandestinely. Why is it using traffickers as the example for that though? I don't like that remotely. Wait, so what was the comment? It means. So it means it said clandestinely Hall is a good YouTuber. So secretly. Oh, so it wasn't even that bad of a thing. Okay. Just pull that away. Oh, did I not?
Belief that Mr. Carter was the suspect, it is likely that a court would conclude that the circumstances did not provide him with the objective, reasonable suspicion necessary to detain Mr. Carter.
Like, hey, that white one, he said, the dog will bite. And I was like, oh, shoot your dog.
Mom lives in route though. For the kids? Alright, so you hang out with the kids. Because we had Adam count as a medical professional look at him here. I'm okay with that. Okay. But the hospital needs to clear him before he can do anything. Talk to Van Ness about how to write it up.
It's feared for my life.
The way you described it is fine, but make sure you exactly how you described it to me, it needs to be written down.
So what are you charging him with so I can tell his wife?
Disorderly and resisting. Okay. And if Van Ness could help me with make up anything else.
Whoa.
And if Van Ness could help me with make up anything else.
Okay, yeah, so this guy is just, there's not even hope for him, bro. There is not hope for this man. Especially, wait, what were we saying? YouTube is your op, especially when, oh yeah. No, okay, I'm being distracted again, bro. YouTube, bro, well, not anymore, but they used to just randomly delete like 90% of my views on streams. They sometimes still do. Actually, no, I've noticed on YouTube at least, it's like, sometimes, like, when a video ends, it'll, like, the stream, like, it'll be like, oh, you have this amount of views, and then, like, 12 hours later, it will be way lower than it was before, and I'm like, why? And it's been happening ever since, like, 2 years ago. That's not really relevant to this. Hall has, okay, so we're just saying long words, and you're saying long words is my op? Like, dude, clandestinely is not a long word, bro. I guess I'll search this up because, you know, I'm interested. I know about hippopotamus. Wait, no, I don't. I can't be reacting to all these dumb words, bro. Actually, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Pull this up. Just beep 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 beep. Okay, I'm definitely a robot because who beeps while Googling? I don't know. Okay, so that's spelled wrong first off. And it is actually a real word. Okay, so we're cooked. An invented long word said to me a lung disease caused by inhaling very fine ash and sand dust. What? Why? Why do you need to? Okay, what's the pronoun?
Pneumano-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
Oh, that's not even that bad. It actually is kind of bad. Okay? Is this 45 letters? Oh damn. Alright, dude. Okay, enough. I don't wanna see more long words in my chat, bro. I'm not gonna react to every single little dumb long word. Honorific ability. You. Let's just put this one in. All right. Okay, I'm gonna try to pronounce this. Honorific capability. Okay, bro. I don't know. The state of being able to achieve honor. Can I get like a? Okay, let's do what's in Spanish. It's the easy way to do this. Okay, screw you, bro. Like, why can I not get pronunciation? Pronunciation. Pronounce. Okay. Whatever. I don't care. It's not worth it. Okay, we're making up words. I don't... Enough. Can I, like... Okay, Okay. Alright, dude. Alright, well, I'm doing this as my last one because this one's diabolical. I don't believe it's real. Oh yeah, I gotta put a T before this. There's no way this is a real word. Like, that just looks like gibberish. Meaning. Oh my god. Is a something name for a hill in New Zealand. Okay, so we're naming hills this long. Like, why? Translate roughly as. Oh, so it's translation. It's not even a real English word. It's one of the longest places in the world with 85 letters. The hill is in Hawke's Bay, New Zealand, near the town of. It's also known as Te Tamata. Okay. Guess I gotta go there now. No, I'm just playing. I'm not going to a random hill. Actually, okay. I'm getting so distracted. Can I just see images of this hill? Oh my god. This is just stupid, bro. Look how long that sign is. Oh, wait. New Zealand is... Wait. Wait. I didn't know... Wait. Okay. Where is New Zealand? I didn't know it was on an island. I'm getting so distracted. It's okay. In this... Oh... It's... Let me see this. Wow. Wow, it's... Wait, okay. I wonder if Australia... Oh, Australia's pretty close. Oh, wait. Wait, that's the equator? Does Australia have winter? Okay. I need to research this. Australia winter. Is it cold? Dusting to snow. Turn dusting. Okay, so I didn't... No, okay. Stop. You know what I meant, Google. Australia. You ever heard of the theory that Australia is the hole of a donut? So it doesn't exist? Some regions can be as cold as 14 degrees Fahrenheit, while others remain warm and sunny. The coldest place often varies. A record low of 6 degrees Fahrenheit. That's not even that bad. I'm in Iowa? No. Alright, Haw is a big stupid idiot and he is a robot, so everyone can agree. You think I wouldn't be able to read that, by the way? Okay. Enough. Bro, just put that all in one word and thought I wouldn't be able to read that. Like, embarrassing. You think I'm that dumb? Okay, start the video.
That's what I have right now, is disorderly resisting.
Officer Thomas states that he will be charging Mr. Carter with disorderly...
You know what's offensive about this? Look at this parking, bro. Why are you like this? Beep. I just beeped again, bro. Oh my god. I'm such a robot, dude. No, this is actually becoming a problem. No normal human being beeps ever. And I just beeped with... Oh my god, I'm so stupid, bro.
And
Whatever.
resisting, according to Section 39-17-305 of the Tennessee Code, which defines the offense of disorderly conduct. Quote, a person commits an offense who, in a public place and with intent to cause public annoyance or alarm, engages in fighting or in violent or threatening behavior, refuses to obey an official order to disperse issued to maintain public safety in dangerous proximity to a fire, hazard, or other emergency, or creates a hazardous or physically offensive condition by any act that serves no legitimate purpose.
Wait, what did it say? Creates a... I mean, this last one kind of doesn't make sense to me, but like, dude, this is actually good to know, because I always wondered, what is... wait, what is this called? Oh, disorderly conduct. How is the type of person to fail the first time on one of those "Are you a robot?" Okay. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna waste my time showing proof, but why? Whatever.
Hazardous or physically offensive condition by any act that serves no legitimate purpose. Now, while the Supreme Court of Tennessee determined in the 2011 case of State versus Mitchell that an individual's quote-unquote loud and belligerent confrontation of officers, coupled with a challenge to an officer's authority, qualified as threatening behavior designed to annoy or alarm, that was sufficient to support a disorderly conduct conviction, for this subsection of the statute to apply, an individual must be in a public place, which Section 39-11-106 of the Tennessee Code defines as, quote, a place to which the public or a group of persons has access, such as highways, transportation facilities, and schools. As such, it is likely that a court would conclude Mr. Carter was not in a public place on his own front lawn. However,
I just thought of something, bro. Just to like think about it. You as a human have so much right to do whatever you want and change your life in so many ways. Like okay, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but I thought of like, you could live your life and however you want. Like, you don't have to follow any laws. An example of this is going onto a public highway and deciding to walk into the middle of the lanes and waving your arms like an insane person, and just watching a traffic jam form. I mean, most people wouldn't do that, but if you wanted to do that, you technically have the right. Like, and when I say this, I'm just saying that, like, people act like, oh, we have to follow the law. No, you don't. You could just go in the woods and decide to be a survivalist for the rest of your life. Like, I mean, you don't have to do anything in life. You could choose, hey, I don't want to breathe right now. Like, there's consequences to every action you make. That's the thing.
The disorderly conduct statute includes another subsection which states that, quote, a person also violates this section who makes unreasonable noise that prevents others from carrying on lawful activities. Now, while this subsection of the statute does not include a public place requirement, in the 2009 case of State versus Throneberry, the Court of Criminal Appeals of Tennessee determined that the fact that an individual repeatedly yelled at a police officer was insufficient to sustain a disorderly conduct conviction because there was no evidence showing that the yelling interfered with the officer's ability to conduct an investigation or any other lawful activities. As we discussed earlier in this episode, Officer Thomas likely did not have reasonable suspicion to detain Mr. Carter, and he would have been able to continue his investigation.
I'm still getting, I can't get over it. Is this his teeth? Every time I see this image, just get more and more confused. What am I looking at? I don't know if that's teeth or not, but if it is, he's got crazy teeth.
Low if he chose to do so. As such, it seems improbable that a court would determine that Mr. Carter could be convicted of disorderly conduct under either subsection of the statute. As for the resisting charge, under Section 39-16-602 of the Tennessee Code, quote, it is an offense for a person to intentionally prevent or obstruct anyone known to the person to be a law enforcement officer or anyone acting in a law enforcement officer's presence and at the officer's direction from effecting a stop, frisk, halt, arrest, or search by using force against the law enforcement officer or another. The statute also clarifies that, now quoting again, it is no defense to prosecution under this section that the stop, frisk, halt, arrest, or search was unlawful. And Section 39-11-106 of the Tennessee Code states
Oh my god, I'm sorry, dude. This guy is like doing an assignment. That's what it feels like. I get that like his whole channel's about like, you know, going into this, but like, dude, I just like, this is too much. Like, I don't care anymore. I don't care remotely. Bro, okay, whatever. I don't know. This is just ridiculous. How long does this go for? Oh my god, it still goes? Jeez.
Quote, force means compulsion by the use of physical orders. Criminal appeals noted in the 20 individual Mr. Carter.
I'm not trying to be rude, by the way, necessarily, because I get that that's the whole point of his channel, but like, dude, it's just like, it's too much. It's nerding to me. Can we skip to the other video? I don't like this one. Well, no, because I already watched this so far. I'm not going to just skip it. I want to see the outcome.
Did not appear to actively resist handcuffing in body camera footage. But if he did make any movements that could be construed as struggling against handcuffing, Section 39-11-611 of
Alright, maybe you're right. Maybe this video sucks, but
to use force in self-defense if, now quoting, the law enforcement officer uses or attempts to use greater force than necessary to make the arrest, search, stop and frisk, or halt. Accordingly, Mr. Carter would be able to attempt to defend himself against the charge by arguing that the officers were using excessive force to detain him.
I didn't figure out. Do you have any of this information? Could you pull that up?
I have it.
Harbin will?
Because he did the report.
Hey, he didn't have his wallet on him. I have no idea who this guy is.
Maybe he'll tell you if not, he's John Joe.
Wait, what did you say?
I have no idea who this guy is.
Maybe he'll tell you if not, he's John Joe.
He can die in jail is crazy.
We're gonna take you to Erlanger.
Okay, I didn't know cops had messy cars, bro. This guy's like, my god. I'm not gonna lie. It's not even that messy.
Mama's coming to take him.
I don't get how people can have messy cars. It's just like, I don't get it at all. I've seen so many people where you get in the car and you're like, there's just stuff all over the place. And you're like, what? Like, yeah, I get having some things in there, but like, dude, it's like, people don't throw away like McDonald's cups. Like, why? Why are you... I mean, I've never had a scenario where I'm like, I can't be bothered to throw out my cup. Like, it's super easy. Walk out of the car and hold it in your hand and throw it away. Pisses me off. What does he even have? I don't know. Going to eat McDonald's. What?
Because you got tased.
What, you taking me to jail?
Yep.
For what?
Disorderly and resisting.
I didn't resist arrest. Man, I came outside to check my mail. I had nothing to do with what was going on over there. How the hell I get on the jail but jump outside to check my mail? Are you serious?
Serious.
For real?
Has a heart attack.
You don't care about nothing but your personal agenda. Trying to save your because you had no reason to even talk to me. You were called to my address. You had no right to stop or detain me. What law was I breaking? What nothing. You did not give me any statute code of my Fourth Amendment right to tell me why you were stopping me.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This guy's smarter than me, dude. I don't even know what the Fourth Amendment is. I should know it. It's been ingrained in my head like a year ago, but bro, I have no idea what it is. I only know the first and second. That's it. That's the only ones I know for sure. Do you watch The Outdoors Boys? I don't even know what that is.
Take me to jail.
I will.
Make sure you come to court.
I will. He's pissed too. Come on.
Is it safe to come out? I don't want to get assaulted again. I'm going to get my mail. Right. You'll have to go to jail for getting your mail.
After his arrest, Mr. Carter was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. But on November 2nd, 2018, both charges were dismissed. A complaint was filed with the Chattanooga Police Department, and the Internal Affairs investigation found that Officer Thomas had used force outside of the department's standard guidelines, submitted official reports that contained false and misleading information, showed willful indifference to complaints of a prisoner, and displayed behavior and used language during his interaction with citizens that was unnecessary and unprofessional. As a result of these violations, Officer Thomas received an 80-hour suspension in November of 2018, and then returned to the force.
What? Oh. Alright, so I watched this just to get upset, dude. That's what... Oh my god. Oh my god. That's ridiculous. Is that it? Wow, let's just make sure.
April 2nd, 2019, Mr. Carter filed a lawsuit in the Circuit Court for Hamilton County, Tennessee, which was later removed to federal court. The complaint asserted claims including...
Oh, federal? Ooh. I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Of force, malicious prosecution, false arrest, assault, and battery, and requested $1 million in compensatory damages and $2 million in punitive damages. On November 19th, 2019,
whoever his
the
lawyer
case was dismissed after the claims were settled for an undisclosed amount.
That sucks. You know why that sucks? Because I guarantee you that he got way less money than he could have gotten if he just stuck to court. Yes, going to court is evil. Like, not evil. It's horrible. It's hard. But bro, if you stick to court, he would have. Because I guarantee they paid him like $50,000, $100,000, and they're like, oh, we're gonna sweep this under the rug. Who cares? Which is why they're not saying how much money it is, because otherwise people would be outraged. That is evil. Why do people always accept the like? Yeah, money's nice. Like getting money immediately. That's why. That's off topic, but. That's why you should never just immediately sign to a record label if you have a #1 hit, because just because you get the money immediately doesn't mean you're just gonna it's good. Like you'll make more money if you're solo dolo. I don't know why I said solo dolo, but whatever.
Overall, Officer Thomas gets an F for unreasonably deploying a taser on Mr. Carter in likely violation of department policy, maintaining an aggressive and belligerent demeanor throughout the encounter, and misrepresenting essential details regarding the incident, such as claiming that Mr. Carter was in the middle of the road when he was clearly at his mailbox when the body camera footage began. Although Officer Thomas claimed to believe that Mr. Carter was the suspect reported in the 911 call, I find this contention dubious, particularly given that Mr. Carter was wearing a purple shirt rather than a green one.
Okay, no, so here's the real question, though. Did the original guy who had a Glock get caught? Because if he didn't, this is just like, dude, like, what? How are we letting a man roam the streets with a Glock and not get caught? Like, but this guy who just doesn't do anything wrong, gets caught doing nothing. Fantastic.
And the victim informed Officer Thomas that Mr. Carter was not the perpetrator. Rather, it seems more likely that Officer Thomas reacted to perceived disrespect from Mr. Carter, as evidenced by the fact that he told Mr. Carter, and I'm quoting, "You're now part of this," after he made comments that Officer Thomas did not seem to appreciate. The truly unhinged behavior exhibited by Officer Thomas during this encounter demonstrated a propensity for both violence and
Alright, bro, this guy's crazy. Propensity, bro? I have never heard that word in my life. I almost want to look it up, but I'm not trying to go off topic. It's the end of the video, this video at least. I'm not trying to go more off topic. It's just going to make it longer.
I seriously question whether a 2-week suspension was sufficient to address these underlying issues. Mr. Carter gets an A-, because although he was somewhat verbally combative...
Okay, we get the point. That's it? Okay, so we never even found out if the Glock guy just got caught or not. Like, that's crazy. Did the Glock guy get caught or not? Yeah, okay. I don't think I'm watching his channel again. I'm sorry. I just, like, I don't know. I see other people react to this channel, the audit or whatever. I can't stand him going into detail about, like, the court cases. Like, I get he does his research, which is great, but, like, dude, I don't want to watch it. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you're right. Blah, 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 indeed. Blah, 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 blah. That's all what I heard. Okay, bro, get out of here, bro. Okay. It's not all blah, 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 blah. I'm not even gonna reason with idiots. I'm gonna watch this video. I've been wanting to watch this for like 2 weeks, and I'm gonna if I put it off for another week, it's like, dude, I'm not gonna ever watch it. So, um, you're talking about the channel? Yeah, I know you're talking about the channel. Alright, whatever. So I've been wanting to watch this video for about 2 weeks, I think, and it's by Malik Peace. Malik Peace! He actually, oh no, this guy commented on one of my videos, by the way, which is actually shocking. I just wanted to start off by saying that, because he's like, he commented, he's like, I watched your whole video, bro, W reaction. Well, he didn't say that, but he said, like, I watched the whole video. And I was like, dude, that's crazy that it's like some notable YouTuber actually watched my own content. Because I reacted to one of his other videos, and I liked it. So obviously I gotta react to another video, you know? I'll bet you 1 V-Bucks. What's a V-Bucks? I don't think that's real. Young people don't want to work anymore. The problem with this video, by the way, I'm just gonna say this right now, is I'm intimidated by it because I am in the demographic of I'm young. And this video speaks to me, but like I'm also nervous because I feel like I'm gonna anger people with what I'm gonna say. So I'm gonna be very careful with what I have to say.
For anything, we don't want to get
what the heck happened?
Yes, you are right. Kids today, Gen Z, younger people.
Wait, V-Bucks is Fortnite currency? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Wait, no, it's not. Wait, it is. Wait. Oh my god! Wait, V-Bucks? Oh my god, it is. Oh my god, how did I forget that? Oh my god. I actually might be really stupid right now. Oh my god. It's spelled V-Bucks. It doesn't matter, bro. Like, I should know what that... Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. Alright, let's move on from that, dude. That is just astonishing. Okay, start to... Why? Oh, I'm pressing the Alt button. That explains why it's not.
Whatever you want to call us, don't want to work. Just give me some time to explain why. So there's this idea that kids today don't want to work, or at least this generation, or younger people in general, that we don't want to work for anything, we don't want to get our hands dirty, we're lazy, and we all just want to be influencers, TikTokers, YouTubers, or whatever. But at the end, we're just lazy and don't want to do any real work, and we're always looking for a shortcut. And I know older generations always have something to say about the last, but this is one of the most common things I hear about younger people like myself. And I don't know if this is even going to reach the target audience about those who think this, but I just really want to try to explain why younger people like myself do not want to work. Now,
well, I mean, it's simple. It's really simple, honestly. At least for me. It's the idea of spending all this time working for a company that doesn't care for you, that pays you not enough money. I mean, that's what it is. Simple. Those two things. Boom. Also, I should mention right here, right now, I don't know what people think of this, but I feel like the idea of getting rich is shoved down our throats through social media so often that it's like everyone wants to become rich and wants to spend all their money and wants to buy the nicest car, but they don't. But like the reality is that being rich, I think that no, I think I should word it this way. It's shoved down our life having the rich lifestyle. I think being rich is okay, but having the rich lifestyle is the problem because a lot of people don't know how to spend money properly. So if they had a lot of money, bro, they'd lose it instantly, bro. I mean, that's what every like social media promotes is, hey, spend your money on this and this. I don't know if I'm describing this well. Whatever. I'm just gonna.
Also, I'm 23 years old, by the way. I cannot speak for everybody my age, but
nobody cares about these rich people money. Like, if you're bragging about being rich, nobody cares. I mean, not necessarily. I think the main problem is that it's promoted like, hey, you need to get rich, you need to hustle, you need to get money, and so I think a lot of people can't handle like working jobs now, where it's like, oh, I'm making mediocre amount of money doing all this work for nothing. You don't care about rich people? Get lost? I mean, I don't know. I don't really care that deeply either. Me personally, by the way, if I ever got rich, which is a big if, I definitely wouldn't know what to do with my money. Unlike all these other people, bro, I don't have like a dream car I want. I don't really care about that. Like, the only thing I think I would buy is like, ooh, I would want to buy video games. About it, which I already do. So there you go. Also, okay, another topic I should mention. I hate people, bro. And this needs to be talked about right now, right now, right now, right now, right now, because it bothers me so much. I think that people who act like, oh, these people, like they dictate, hey, this is how rich people should send their money. They need to donate to charity. They need to stop, going on private jets. It pisses me off because they act like if they weren't in that situation where they held that money, they wouldn't do the same thing. They wouldn't go on a private jet and fly across the country because they really need to go somewhere for a business meeting fast. They act like they would actually take a normal airline. Or, oh, I have all this money, bro. I would actually donate it to charity, bro. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. And that's what pisses me off. All these people talk about, oh, spend your money on this, bro. When you're rich, who are you to say that? There's a reason why you're broke. Because you just fantasize about having money. More money equals Hall drops YouTube. No. I don't really... No, I don't think that would happen. The only way I'd drop YouTube is if, I guess, if I just lost motivation entirely, or I felt that wasn't worth it. But I clearly I haven't felt that, even though I'm a small channel who's struggling to, grow.
I will speak for myself, and I hope that other people my age feel the same. Okay, so I want to
You'd
start.
skip those options? I would give away money to homeless children within restaurants or fast food chains. I mean, yeah, some people would do it. I know me personally, I would not donate. I hate saying this, but it's the truth. I wouldn't donate to charity. That's just not me. Like, it's my money, bro. If I was, I sound like an evil person, but I think 99% of, well, not 90, but a lot of people could agree with me. If they were rich, they wouldn't do anything to help people because they don't care. It's the reality. I mean, it's just the world we live in. People think like that, including me. Canceled? I would rather tell the truth in this situation than just be like, "Oh yeah, no, I feel so bad. I wish that they donate to charity." Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna get canceled, Bob. I'm not big enough, and plus, if I get canceled for this, I'm not care. The thing about being canceled is, oh my God, I'm only a minute into the video. Okay, bro, I need to hurry up before this turns into an hour-long thing. The only way I'd get canceled is, if I actually took it seriously, as in, like, I actually let it affect me. That's the way to get canceled, is let it affect you. If you don't let it affect you, people move on, as you see with so many things. Mr. Beast, for example, you don't see people talking about Mr. Beast anymore with, like, badness as much, like, all these allegations. People moved on. KSI, people moved on. Logan Paul, people moved on. Even though he keeps doing more things, they keep on following him for some reason. I don't get it, but that's the point. If you move on and just forget about it, doesn't matter. If you had a lot of money, then I'd bet that your career on YouTube won't last long. Okay, okay, but I'm not doing YouTube for the money. Right, well, at least right now. If I had a lot of money, bro, I'd still want to do YouTube because if I had a lot of money where there's nothing for me to do, it's like, what else am I gonna do? Like, yeah, it's fun to play video games with friends and all that, but you have to realize that you have to work. I think the problem with people is that they want to retire super early. That's like the dream life. Oh, I retire in my 20s, my late 20s, or I retire in my early 30s. But the reality is like, do you really want to do that? Because then what are you going to do after that? You're going to be bored out of your mind for the rest of your life. Become Mr. Beast, do money challenges? No way.
Put this off on the deep end and then bring it all back. So, starting at the foundation. First, you are a human being and you are going to die one day. If you are listening and understanding these words right now, you are the most complex thing in the known universe, living in the best time thus far, with potential to achieve things that no other living thing has ever been able to experience. It took billions of years to make you, and your entire bloodline has died, suffered, and lived just for you to be here to be able to take your next breath. And one day, I can guarantee you will take your last breath and then never again for the rest of eternity.
Alright, that's just dark for me, bro. That's dark.
Now, why am I saying all this? To really drill into the point that we don't have time.
If people do money challenges and they'll be assumed to be a copy of Mr. Beast and they may get negative views about it. I don't know. I saw YouTubers being conflicted by views with that kind of stuff. I guess it's copying Mr. Beast, but did he really originate the idea? I don't know. I mean, either way, I'm not going to go into that because, frankly, I just don't want to. It's not something that interests me. It's doing money challenges. By the way, if you don't know, throwing money on YouTube and like putting money into the thumbnail, into the title, into the video, always gets views because when people see large amounts of money being spent on something, they're instantly like, "Oh my God, I need to click." So I mean, it is a great way to make a crap ton of money. Which reminds me, I'm just gonna say here, I don't believe Mr. Beast invests all his money back into his channel. Why do I say that? Because I actually recently found out just how much money you really make from having 1 million views. And on average, you make 1,000 to 4,000 views. I mean, $4,000 per 1 million views. I always thought you were paid by the amount of ads, but no, you're paid by the amount of views. And what that means is basically this guy is getting what, like, on the low end, $100 million for 100 million views. No, wait, that's not right. Wait, 1,000 times 100 million? Wait, 1,000 times 100. I don't know. Yeah, wait, no, wait. I don't know the math. I'm stupid. Oh, that's 358,000 total views. That's crazy. Oh, I don't get paid for any of it. I don't feel bad though. I'm not doing it for money right now. Well, I'm going to hopefully make money. I'm getting so off topic. I need to focus on the video. Like right now, it's just like I'm in like something else mode, bro. Money is something that requires combobulation for. What does that mean? Combobulation? I have no idea. Dude, why is my spacebar not working? Oh, my mouse was clicked on the other monitor.
Fastest life we have. The clock is forever ticking and can end at any moment, and when it's over, it's just over. Forever. And the worst possible pain that I can think of is looking back at my life on my deathbed, knowing I didn't live a life that I truly desire to live, knowing that I'm dying with all my dreams on the table, and I never got to experience the things I actually wanted to experience. That I spent my entire existence building someone else's dream while forgetting about mine. I lived my life for others, never living for myself or even attempting to figure out what the mystery of life is about. And I'm leaving this world forever, knowing I had all the potential.
Okay, yeah, I get where he's coming from, but if everyone lived a life where they just tried to do their own thing and make their own businesses, then society would fail. That's the sad reality. Combobulation? That's how I pronounced it. I don't know what you're talking about then. I still don't know what that means. Why? Oh, I thought the video was playing. Reality is that, it's just that, like, being able to do your own work and be on your own and do your own thing there's a reason why only a small percentage of people make it work, because it's hard, it's not meant for everyone, and frankly, if it was meant for everyone, then a society would collapse.
All the tools and all the ability to do, achieve, and have more, and I just didn't. And once you realize that you only get one
Oh my God. Bro, oh my God. Why am I reading my chat, bro? Why am I reading my chat? Why? I look to my right, and I see, can you also look up how female hyenas have peniles? By the way, peniles, bro. I have not heard that word in way too long, and why am I... Sometimes you just gotta learn the skill of just completely ignoring people because they're weird. Like, it's just reality. Combobulation means to put something back in order or organize it. It could also mean reverse the effects of discombobulation. Okay. So that's all right. Which is a state of confusion or disarray. Oh, okay. So in that scenario, money is something that requires combobulation or organization, basically, we're saying. Or okay, I get it.
To this shit, your goals for life change. And once again, I can't speak for others, but I realize that if I am going to only live life once, I want to live it my way. I want to live true to me, especially if I have the ability to do so. Because I get it. My ancestors and even a lot of people alive today didn't or don't have a choice.
Yeah.
I get it. But so many people have died in order to give me a choice. And now that I have that choice, I am going to use it. So if I'm even going to attempt to get the most out of this life, I need to have the ability to control my life. Freedom. This is the goal. To get the most out of this short life that I have, whatever that means to me. So,
And this is what I was talking about earlier in the last video I was looking at. When I said you have freedom and you don't have to follow any laws. Now, this is an extreme, but what I mean is, if you really wanted to, you could just decide to live in the woods and be a survivalist, like I said. You don't have to follow laws. You don't have to stick to the norms that everyone else says is normal. You don't have to go to college. You don't have to, work at a job that you don't like just because everyone else told you to. You have freedoms. Like I said earlier, you could also just walk in the middle of the highway and decide, I'm going to block everyone in traffic. Like, you could do whatever you want. But people seem to think, like, oh, laws are restricting me. No, they're restricting you because you're afraid of the consequences. But if you're not afraid of the consequences, you can live your life however you want. You'll end the stream before you can even finish this video. Does that say homework? Bro, get out.
oh, bringing it back, why doesn't this generation want to work? Let's talk about work. So, what's the point of working? Why do so many people get up and go to a job? Well, it's so they can afford their wants and their needs. Obviously, so they can pay the bills and have enough money left over to have fun, do whatever, and just live. Yes, but the very first part to all of that is money. I don't think many would argue that money is the most important thing. You remove the money and people stop working. Money is what makes the world go around and why people pick one job over another. And of course, there are those who are truly passionate about something, but majority of people pick a major, they get a degree, and they pick a job because it sounds somewhat tolerable, but mainly because it pays a decent bit of money over something else. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, most people are only working to get money, to get a check. There's no real passion or anything. It's just for money, which isn't a problem, but that's really what it comes down to. Why money? Well, because you need money. No shit. Money is able to grant us the...
By the way, I should just say this right here, right now. I hate people who say money doesn't buy happiness, because those people seem to me like they've never had access to lots of money, because money can buy happiness. For example, you could pay off all the bills for your parents with a lot of money. And you're telling me that doesn't buy happiness? I mean, you technically bought that. Or you could buy your best friend a brand new car, or you could pay all the medical bills for someone you love. Does that not give you happiness? This is just the easy examples. I mean, you could even argue like the amount of happiness you could get out of buying your dream car. And these people try to tell you, especially teachers, no, money does not buy happiness. Are you sure about that? Did you know Alcock is a valve used in toilets to control water flow? Why are you giving random facts? Most people aren't even happy you say that. Not necessarily. I mean, some people are happy, but like, they just don't realize what they're really saying, preaching to people.
Ability to survive, to buy things to cover our needs and make our lives more comfortable. It gives you the ability to have nice things, raise your status, have fun, and have experiences, etc. And we know that if we have enough money, it can buy freedom, which can lead to finding your purpose, which can then lead to living a fulfilling life. And another word for freedom can be retirement. Most people's main ticket to freedom is retirement, because retirement is basically just delayed freedom. It's having enough money saved up or invested so you no longer need to work for money, and you can truly do what you want without having to be tied to a job. This is what people are working towards, either consciously or subconsciously. If you ask vast majority of people, they either don't like their job or it's just tolerable. And if they had enough money to stop working or retire, they would immediately. So really,
Oh,
the
100%.
ultimate goal for working and having a job is not the work, but money to have all your needs covered. And then it's
I kind of think that most people don't realize that they actually need to work, but not as many hours, but they need something to do. Like, I don't know, like when I have days where I don't work for a long time, it's like, or go to school for a long time, I just feel useless. It's like, yeah, I'm having fun. I get to do whatever I want, but like, you just feel useless. Like, what's the point of me living? Just sitting there wasting energy and resources on playing video games and hanging out with friends. Wow. I mean, that's it. Like, wow. And it makes you realize if work or school gives you a purpose, that's my opinion. Well, even if you don't like it, it gives you something to do.
saving up for retirement, aka freedom, because everyone understands soullessly working a job forever is depressing.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ultimate goal is freedom. This is what younger people want and what people have been fighting for generations. Having freedom, being in control, and having autonomy over one's life is one of the biggest factors of someone's happiness. Because with freedom, you can truly spend time and resources in developing other areas of your life, like your health, your relationships, finding some peace and purpose in your life. You can work on meaningful projects and devote your time to actually helping people. You can actually begin the journey and trying to figure out what life is. Without freedom, you can never really focus on these areas of your life. Like, sure, you can try to grow them, but you can never focus on them as much as you could if you were truly free. It will always be limited. And if you live your entire life unfree, did you truly live? It's like today. Why are so many families broken? Because people don't have the freedom to actually spend time together, fix problems, and bond. Why do so many divorces happen? Because of money and the lack of freedom.
Yeah, that's
Why
true.
are most people in shape? Well, because most people don't have the time or energy to work out, and it's cheaper.
All right. Now that is where I disagree. I think that the people who say, I don't have time to work out, you're kind of wrong. Because if you work 8 hours a week, 8 hours, let's just say even every single day, you work a 56-hour work week, which is not usual. Most people work a 40-hour work week, right? You definitely have time to work out. It's just inconvenient. It is. I mean, being in the 5 p.m. crowd is always inconvenient. I used to be one of those people who'd go to the gym at 5 p.m. Almost every day. I hated it. So I get it. It's ridiculous. Just find a time that works. At least for me, it's like finding a way to, like, for exercise or any goal you have to, like, change your life, it's just making it convenient that makes it work. So instead of setting it at a time that's inconvenient, always make sure it's at a time that's very convenient. You'll make it work. But people say, I don't have time, are lying. They have time. Because they have time to scroll on YouTube, scroll on TikTok, watch a show. They have time for that. It's always the case. There's always time for that. So I don't believe in that stuff. All this disagreement, PhD is crazy, bro.
To buy the unhealthy foods. Why don't people travel as much? Because they don't have the time or money. Why do people buy the cheaper item instead of buying the thing that they actually really wanted? Because they don't have the money and the freedom to do so. Why are most people just happy in general? Because they don't have time, money, and freedom to do what they actually want to do with their lives. And because they aren't free and will never truly be free, they will never live anything close to their true potential and die living an unfulfilling life.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm not trying to be mean or harsh or anything, but I'm just trying to be absolutely real about this. Freedom and money is one of the most important things in the world we live in today. If you truly want to get the most out of your existence, because it impacts almost every single area of our lives. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, this has motivated me, but to hopefully one day it's that thing. It's easy to say I'm gonna be rich, but it's like, to me it's like I'm motivated. I'm gonna get rich, but I don't have any plan. If you want to get rich, you have to have a plan of action and have knowledge of stuff. You can't just do it luckily. Well, you can, definitely. You could just buy lottery tickets all the time. By the way, oh my God. Why is it that the lottery, like, can give out hundreds of millions of dollars to one person? How do they get that much money to just give out. I don't get it. How are they making profits? Like, you ever heard of those people who won like $500 million from like a jackpot lottery or whatever? I'm like, dude, what? Like, that is the worst. Well, it's not the worst way to get money, all that money at once. But it's arguably one of the worst ways because, like, what are you gonna do with it? Like, you didn't just earn it incrementally. Now you just have it all in 1 second. Someone won $300 million from a fortune cookie? What the? How does that even work? You just bite it into a fortune cookie? Oh, there's a code. Oh my God, I won. It's crazy. That's why part of me kind of wants to try to do lottery tickets, but it's like, dude, lottery tickets they're profitable for a reason because people just constantly buy more and more every day, hoping they win, they never do.
Try to think of an area of your life in which money, time, and freedom wouldn't help it in some way, or at the very least, would it make it worse? Like, I just really want to drill into the point that younger people like myself just want freedom. Because, like, whenever I was young and people would ask me what I wanted to do with my life, the simple answer was whatever I wanted. But that seems like such a weird answer to give, because it seems wrong to say that. Like, saying that we want freedom and control over our lives, that we want to be control over our time. It just sounds wrong and immature. We just want to be able to live and do what we actually want to do with our lives. Now, just because this is what younger people want doesn't mean we want to sit around and do nothing. It doesn't mean we're lazy. It doesn't mean we just want to sit in a dark room and do nothing for the next 50.
I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of was me. It still is me. Like, part of me wants to just do nothing for the rest of my life. I do realize probably the exception. What is bro playing on his PC? I don't know. I don't know what game that is.
50 years. Of course not. Just because we want control over our time and lives doesn't mean we're going to literally waste it doing nothing. We physically cannot. We are humans too. We need to work on something. We just want the ability to use this time to create a life that we can look back on and be proud of. That's all we want. And if this is the goal and we don't have time to waste, the goal should be to achieve freedom as fast as possible, because time is ticking and is never coming back, and this could all end at any moment. So, now that you understand that the goal is to get the most out of our lives by achieving freedom, let's talk about working a 9 to 5. So, the problem. Keep this question in the back of your mind during this section. When are you supposed to stop working and have freedom? So, if I could summarize this in one sentence, it's not that we don't want to work, but if we are going to work on something long term, then we want it to have a good payoff at the end. And the simple truth is that if you work a 9 to 5 forever, you're going to die never being truly free. Okay, so let's talk about...
yeah, the main problem is that with the average job, it's like the payout is not really good enough. You don't get like a huge pay increase unless you're like a teacher or something. But like the average person, they're not making like crazy, like, oh, I dedicated 20 years to the company. Oh, wow. And they're not making like extra money. Ever seen that guy who worked like, I think it was like 50 years at 7-Eleven, and all he got was like a, hey, thanks for doing your loyalty. That's all he got? Like no pay increase, bro? Like, that's what I'm talking about, where it's like you're dedicating all this time for like okayness, just stuck in like mediocrity, which is okay, I guess, if you want to live that way.
How to even achieve freedom through a 9 to 5. So the very first part of having freedom is having time freedom. And to have time freedom, you need financial freedom. You need to have enough money to actually be able to stop working and live off the money you have, so that all of your expenses are covered without having to be tied to a job to make more money. This is literally what retirement is and why people invest. All right, cool. Work a 9 to 5 until you retire so you can finally have freedom. But how much money do you actually need?
This is a good question. I actually have no idea how people retire. I don't get it. Like, how do people make so much money that they can just sit back and relax for like decades? I don't get it. I don't know how it's possible besides investing in something. That's the only thing I could see like actually making it work out.
Actually sit down and figure out how much money
Bitcoin?
you'll need to stop working.
I'm sorry. I don't think older people are investing in Bitcoin. I don't think that's how it works. Who really knows? I've heard of something like an index fund or something. I don't see. I need to start looking into these things, bro. I need to figure out what an index fund is and what was the other one? Something GBD or something. I know that like index funds, like if you start, I heard that if you start investing $100 every paycheck into an index fund at like 20, 25 or something, you'd make over $1 million by like 65, which is not horrible, but I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's still something great. Like, dude, that's kind of good. Bro's just naming every coin, bro. The coins, no, okay. I don't think it's worth investing in virtual coins, in my opinion, but what do I know? By the way, oh my god. That actually, okay. You know, I gotta actually follow my own advice. For the longest time I've been saying, it's 2025. You know what's happening 2025? It's a big year. GTA 6. Well, potentially. Not guaranteed, but you know why I say this? Because the best thing you could do right now, this year, is start investing into Rockstar stock. Because once GTA 6 releases, it doesn't even matter if the game flops. It's going to be such a huge profit soar that it's unreal. And I need to actually do something about it. I'm going to have to remind myself after stream. I completely forgot about it, but dude, no, this is like, that's the easiest way to make a ton of money right now. And I'm not even like financial, like I'm not good with finances at all, but like dude, that is so obvious. Like that's like the easiest way to just right now to make a crap ton of money. I mean, I don't see GTA 6 flopping. That's the thing. It's not gonna flop so hard that it's like, oh, the stock market just for the stocks for stupid Rockstar Games, wherever the company is, crash. Like that's not gonna happen. I invested stocks in GTA 5 single player, and I got a lot of GTA money. So if it works IRL, then yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't work exactly like it does in there, but it's similar. So yeah, it's fairly obvious. You just gotta invest in things that you know are gonna do well in the future, or that are very popular currently, but not like major companies. Well, you can do like you could do Pepsi and whatnot, but like you gotta do things you know for a fact are gonna grow. You invest in OnlyFans. Okay. I mean, honestly, it's not even that bad considering OnlyFans made more money than like what was it, the NFL or something, or all of the basketball. Some weird statistic about how like it made more money than some sort of sports thing, which is crazy because sports industry pays out so much money and gets so much money also.
Try to figure out how a job will get you there. You're going to realize two things. Either A, you're going to be working for the rest of your life, or B, you're going to need to make a lot more money than you think. Because for those who don't know, realistically, you cannot retire off of $50,000, $100,000, even $1 million. Usually, to retire comfortably, you're going to need multi-millions of dollars, especially if you want to have a family, a pretty solid house, some toys, go on vacation, travel, actually live and have real experiences. Because like you can achieve a lesser version of financial freedom by not having a ton of money, but you're still going to need to worry about the prices on this thing and that thing, and you're still limited on what you can do. You still
When the
can't
worst
get
part is that you get older, you're gonna need to go to the hospital more and get your bones checked out and whatnot, and your joints. So honestly, I don't know how is my grandma right now peacefully living? I don't know. I have no idea. The fact someone has paid $2 million in the front row seats within the Mike and Jake Paul fight, but it was boring like watching paint dry. Well, they didn't know that, to be fair. Like, they didn't know. They were expecting it to be good. Like, that's not crazy. I mean, to be fair, $2 million is crazy for a seat. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you could spend $2 million on, like, a seat, you're just at the point where it's like you have, like, money just to throw around. Like, you could literally just throw out your entire wallet. You could, you're okay with, like, you know, if you made, like, a $1 million purchase at Walmart, it would be, like, nothing to you. It would be chump change. That's the type of rich that I feel like is absurd, and honestly, I don't know if I'd want that. Like, what would you do? What motivations would you have in life? Nothing. But we always fantasize about it. $2 million for an all-first scripted event. Well, yeah, but they didn't, again, I don't know the person, but, like, the fact is, I guarantee them that they didn't know that before going. Who knows, though?
the things that you actually want. And in my opinion, that's not truly free. I'm thinking freedom as being able to buy what you actually want to buy and do whatever you actually want to do and not have to worry about the price. And this is within reason, of course. Like, I'm not saying you can go buy like 10 Lamborghinis and a yacht without caring, but more like being able to walk into a Whole Foods and fill your card up with the good shit and not really caring about it, or buying an M5 in cash instead of finance, or staying in another country or state for a month instead of only 3 days because you actually have the time and money for it. Like an above average life, but nothing stupid. Stuff like that. So, you are probably going to need more than $1 million to have freedom, but I'm not saying you need something like $100 million. It strongly depends on a lifestyle that you want to have. Let's say your goal is $5 million. I say $5 million because it's my number, and I believe this can get you a very more than comfortable life. I'll try to explain.
I'll say it this way. If I had a goal for what money I'd want, I would want to have $5 million, not net worth, but just in my bank account, just sitting around. If I had $5 million in my bank account and had others in investments, I think I'd be chilling. I think that would be the life that I'd be like, yeah, it's pretty solid. Because you basically can afford most things you want that's reasonable without having to worry. You have money you're still making off of whatever income you have with your investments and whatnot, even if it's just a small amount. And it's not even your full net worth, so like you still have extra money. Could you spare me some hundreds if you had $5 million? Okay. Let me tell you this. If I had $5 million in my bank account with like, that was not my net worth, that was just like in my bank account, and I had like, let's just say like 2 million in investments, right? I would not be giving out my money to just random people. Like, I don't know you personally, bro. And that's the problem with money. It's like the people around you suddenly, when they know you have a lot of money, they act different. Money brings badness out of people because they're like, oh, well, I know him, so, I deserve some money because I know him. No, you don't deserve anything. One of the things you have to realize is that people don't owe you anything. Whether you like to admit it or not, they don't owe you anything. You could be the best friends for 10 years. Then no one owes you anything just because you're best friends for 10 years. You might think they do, but it's sad reality. I mean, I've learned that the hard way. You can only eat off ramen noodles. Bro's trying to guilt trip me into giving him money when I literally have no money right now, basically. Like, I'm not even close to having $1 million. I'm not even close to having 100,000, let alone 50,000. So, franchise fee estimate. 1 million, 2.5 real estate and building costs. What are you looking at? Oh, for Walmart? Oh. Wow, that's expensive.
And why I say $5 million.
Well, see, the problem with owning like buying a like a franchise building, right, is that yes, you have loyal customers who already know about the place, but like the profits are not great. There's profits, but you have to pay a lot of money for like inventory and stuff. Like if you decide I'm gonna buy a McDonald's and place it here, bro, you're not gonna make a lot of money off it.
Maybe it can help you come up with an answer for yourself. So I don't want any kids as of right now, nor do I want anything crazy. But a nice house in a nice area with a couple of cars, but mainly time would be nice. With $5 million, you can buy a $750,000 house in cash. Some cars that come up to around $250 million, so that's $1 million spent right there. And then you'll have another $1 million on the side you can spend on random things like food, traveling, whatever, like little gadgets. And then you'll have around $3 million invested. That can
what's sad is that the internet has corrupted my mind to think $5 million is nothing. I remember I told my parents, bro, I said, bro, 10 million is nothing. It's like, and then I realized, wait, why am I saying this? Because it's like, wait, I'm saying 10 million is nothing, but I don't even have 1 million to my name. Like, like, it's like the internet's corrupted me, and the amount of people who say, like, oh, get rich and whatnot, or show off their money, it's like corrupted my mind and thinking 5 million is nothing, when 5 million can buy so much and can last you for way too long. This is basically equivalent to having 50 paychecks of 100,000, which, by the way, people make less than $100,000 a year. So that's 50 of a good salary, 50 years of a good salary, just sitting around. Like, that's crazy. You can live for so long. People live off 100,000 easily. Well, not easily necessary, but depends on who it is. But like, dude, that's crazy. $5 million can last you a long time. But the reality is like, you're just corrupted. Like, my mind's corrupt and thinking, oh, why do you spend 250,000 on this? What is the average net worth of America? Good question. Let's search that up. Average net worth of an American. $1,063,000. The median net worth was 192,000, which must. Oh, that's an American family. Whoa. I don't know what this is all saying. This is basically saying. Oh, it's saying the older you are, the more money you make, basically. Okay. $5 million of GTA is like pocket money? Nah, kind of. GTA is weird. GTA is kind of like real life, but to the extreme, where it's like a trash car costs way too much, like $100,000 for a mediocre, oh my god, mediocre car, which is diabolical. Whatever.
You around $150,000 a year passively, or making you around $10,000 a month after tax. Of course, this isn't perfect, and you can move the numbers around if you want to, but I think that me personally, I would be very comfortable as long as I don't try to do anything stupid. I think this number is reasonable. It's high, but it is not too high, and I think most people will be comfortable around this number. So let's assume that your goal is also $5 million. Cool. If so,
I mean, I'd say $5 million in a bank account and I saw like a net worth of like 8 million, I think would be good. So 5 mil in the bank account, 3 mil somewhere else, you're chilling. I think that's optimal.
And excuse my language, how the fuck are you going to get there? It's not okay to just say, well, I don't know, we'll see, but actually do the math on this because your freedom depends on it. Also, I'm not trying to sound mean or harsh or anything, but just please do this. Let's figure out some ways to get there, to get to $5 million. Let's say you're making $50,000 a year. Cool. It's going to take you a fucking century to get there. Let's say you're balling, right? And you're making $100,000 a year. It'll take you half a century. And you're probably thinking, well, actually, you can't even do that. And plus, you can invest, silly. And yeah, you're right. My bad. Let's say you're smart and you start up a 401k at 22 years old, right?
What is a 401k? You know what? This week, actually, next week, sorry, because the week's about to end. Saturday at 11 p.m. almost, so whatever. The point is, next week I'm going to actually start figuring out what these things are. I need to, because like you hear these things like, oh, start investing when you're young. What is a 401k? And the reality is I'm younger than 22, so I could easily get a head start on this stuff. 401k is a retirement saving plan that allows employees to control. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. All right. Maybe that's too early. I mean, it's too early for me. But like an index fund, I need to figure what that is.
Right out of college, and you invest $1,000 a month into his 401k until you're 60. Well, you only have 2.2 million, not even half of 5 million. Fuck it, you max it out. $22,000 every single year until you're 60. Well, fuck, you're still only at 4 million, not 5 million. Okay, so you work for 3 more years. Now you're working for 41 years, and you're 63 instead of 60. And yes, you're finally at $5 million. Wow. Well, actually, you're not even at 5 million because the thing that everybody forgets is inflation. Shit's getting expensive, and it won't ever stop getting more expensive. So that $5 million, 40 years from now, will only give you the buying power of around $1.6 million today. And because that'll get pretty heavily taxed. Let's say you actually keep around $1 million to actually use. So here's a better way of thinking about it. 40 years ago, a house was around $80,000. Now the average house is around $426,000. That's over a 5 times increase. Meaning,
Jeez.
if the prices of houses continue to rise at the exact same rate, by the time you get your $5 million, the average house will cost you $2.2 million, and a Camry will be over $100,000, while gas is at $15 a gallon.
Oh
So-
my, oh my God, that's actually such a, oh my God. The idea of gas being double digits, like having a 1 and a 0 is crazy. That would be a way, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, these are all estimates because, let's be honest, okay, yes, the growth from the last 40 years is crazy. And it probably will be growing faster, inflation will be growing faster, but you never know. I mean, maybe something crazy happens and it actually goes down for some reason. Who really knows? Maybe a president of the United States will actually do something to fix this issue, which is not really likely, but whatever.
So, yeah, you'll have money, but everything will be so expensive that it's going to eat into it very quickly. And there's probably some people thinking, well, hey, I mean, this isn't half bad. You know, I got $1 million, you know, I got a house, I got a car, some money on the side, blah, 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 blah. But remember, all of this is fucking best case scenario. I don't know this for a fact, but I'm willing to bet that vast majority of people are not fucking maxing out a 401k at
100%.
22 years old and will continue to do so for 41 years.
Well, yeah, you know why they won't do that? Because one, the average American has a lot of debts. Another thing is the average American was check to check. So what does that mean? They don't have extra money lying around to just spend and invest. That's the problem. It's the real problem is, I mean, it's sad, like, learning that, like, the average American literally does not have, like, any extra money and has no, like, amount in savings at all. It's like, what? How can you live like this? You love this guy's voice? Yeah, I love it too. It's actually really good. I don't know, maybe it's his mic. I don't know. I get jealous of people who have this type of voice where it's, like, nice and deep, bro. It's like, oh my God, I wish I had that.
Years straight. Let's throw in a realistic, above average example here. Let's say you don't really start investing until you're 25 and you put in $500 towards your retirement every single month, which is pretty decent. You'll only have $800,000, or around $300,000 in actual buying power when you're 60 before taxes. So being realistically, if you do this, at the end, you can expect to barely buy a house, meaning you are not free and will most likely keep working into your old age. So, once again, how are you going to retire? When are we finally going to get this freedom? Okay, so one more math thing, I promise. If someone is 20 years old right now and they wanted to retire at 60 with $5 million in the bank, they're going to have to invest.
I mean, in an ideal world, though, like, instead of focusing on retirement, how about you focus... I know it sounds way easier to speak these words in existence than actually act on them. But, like, if you really want to retire good life, find a way to make $5 million early in life, ideally, and then the problem is I mean, I don't know how. And I don't know. I don't know how to make money. That's just I'm not like, I know ways that are popular, but like they're luck-based kind of. This kind of planning, okay, so 401k plans are retirement saving plans offered by small business employers or companies with 100 or fewer employees. This kind of plan combines the features of a traditional 401k with the simplicity of simple IRAs. Oh, wow, okay.
$24,000 per year like clockwork. That's $2,000 a month for 720 months straight at 7%, and they'll finally hit $5 million at 60 years old. Well, actually, because of inflation, they're going to need closer to $15 million in 40 years. So actually, they would need to invest $70,000 per year for 40 years straight just to have freedom starting at 20 years.
I think the thing is, if I want to get rich, two things, it's like I have two strategies from like my idea of being rich. Is either one, just completely like get a normal job, obviously, which is what I'm working towards right now. And also, ideally, start making money off YouTube, and then hopefully YouTube pops off, and I make a ton of money. That's my ideal world, right? And then maybe I'll do both of them, or focus on one, the other, whichever one's making more money. That's the ideal world. In reality, most likely I'll just have to get a decent or good job and just invest as much as I can. That's about it. And maybe try some like extra side hustles. I don't know. Either way, by the way, I should mention, I'm gonna be doing YouTube for as long as I can see in the future. It's not like I'm just gonna give up. Like, even if I don't make money in the next 5 years, which I don't think that will be the case, but if I don't, so what? I'm gonna continue. Because my end goal, it was the reason why I started this channel is and the end goal is to become a YouTuber, which sounds cringe, but like I wanted to actually make money off it and do it for a living. An IRA is a tax advantage savings plan that allows you to set aside money for retirement. People normally start investing in IRAs during college. Okay, so that's what that is. I didn't even know that.
Years old. Now, obviously, this is not realistic for a vast majority of people. So, once again, show me the math. Explain it to me. How are we going to get there? If we ever really want to have freedom, how is a 9-to-5 ever going to get us there? Okay, so we're done with the math. And after doing all this, hopefully if you're like me, you can see 3 huge problems with this whole retirement stuff just in general. So first, coming back to reality. This is all hypothetical. These are just numbers. Everything I said isn't actually real. This is absolute best case scenario with perfect conditions. It could go better than this. It could go worse. And sure, you're right. I might have X amount of money if I invest X dollars for X years at X return. Cool. That's just numbers on paper, but nothing in reality. Like, imagine you've been investing consistently for 40 years and you have $3 million in the bank. And then a recession hits and your portfolio loses over 33% or around $1 million. And you have no choice but to keep working into your old age to make up this difference. And like, this might sound like some crazy.
Or imagine, or this is more realistic. Imagine if you, well, like, for example, you have a family and someone in your family has a massive injury and you have to pay for part of the medical bill and it costs an arm and a leg, and now you don't have money to invest anymore. You don't have invest money. Like that's more realistic. Or, oh, you get in a car accident and you were at fault. Now you have to pay for the damages. Like, things like that. It's like, that's more realistic in how it's possible that your whole investment plan can get ruined.
Doomsday scenario, but this happened to someone just a few years ago when a stock market dropped. There's just so much hope. Like, you're hoping all of this is consistent, which it won't be. You're hoping at 35 years old, your investments don't get cut in half, which it might. You're hoping inflation doesn't get worse and it ruins the value of your investments. You're hoping you're even alive to see your 60s. You're hoping you don't get laid off. You're hoping you don't have any big financial crises, whatever. You're hoping you're able to pay this consistently and never have a bad month or year. Everything has to go almost perfectly, and even then, you barely make it. And second, the big one is time. We have all heard this at some point, but we all just seem to keep forgetting this. Time is the most valuable thing we have. Every second we live is lost forever, and there is nothing more that people dream for, yearn for, whenever they're about to die, than more time. Their youth back. And we younger people have youth, but only for a time, and one day we will lose it. The longer we wait, the less chances we have to get the most out of this life. We need to achieve freedom while we still have our youth, so we can.
Bro, it feels like it's speaking to me, bro.
Because every single time you hear about this compound interest plan, it's over decades. Decades. I'm not saying it's bad to think long term, but thinking 20, 30, 50 years out, half a fucking century. Do you know how many things could change? How much you'll change? There's a pretty solid chance that you won't even make it to 65 to even sniff the retirement age. I know people at my age, at 23, who didn't even make it to my age. Let's say you finally reach 65 with money. When you retire at 65 years old after working and investing for over 4 decades, do you really think money is going to mean much? Like, sure, it is nice. It's better to have than nothing. You can finally stop working, but then what? Like, really, what the fuck are you going to do when you're that old?
Yeah.
Like, not in a mean way, but have you seen someone past the age of 60? Do they look full of energy to you? Like they really want to go out and really live life up? Like they're going to go chase their dreams and really start pursuing the things that matter to them? After 40 years of working,
accurate, 100%.
all the dreams and goals you had are long gone. The world has changed so much. You are not going to want to do anything, go anywhere, have experiences. Those dreams you had in your 20s are long gone. You're tired all the time. Your back hurts. You might have scars, aches, pains. You might walk with a limp. There's a very good chance that all you're going to want to do is sit around and wait to die. And most of the money you do have stashed away is going to be spent on medical bills, trying to keep you alive just a little bit longer. Your potential kids might be getting older too, or they might have already died. Your parents probably are, or maybe your spouse could be gone by then too. Plus, if you make it to 65, you on average have 10 years left and you're dead forever. And if you're going to sleep a third of that off, you only have around 6 years left of actual life awake, and then you're gone. Work your whole life for a possible 6 years of old person freedom. Why would we want that? If that's your best case scenario, then you can have it. Third is your life experience. If you did follow the plan of working a job you didn't like, saving and investing and being frugal over decades, and you finally made it, you'll reach the end knowing you lived your whole life working a job for a piece of paper. Basically, your whole existence was spent working a job you probably didn't like or cared that much about. You probably lived frugally, didn't get the things you actually wanted, and limited your human experience for $1. You didn't get to see the things you wanted to see, eat what you wanted to eat, drive what you wanted to drive. You'll look back at your life and realize that you did live above average, but you won't really have any interesting stories to tell. You'll have limited memories. You never became that person you wanted to be. And then you'll tell your kids that they need to work hard and make money so they can become a success like you are. You'll reach the end and have memories of just working. You'll spend the last 6 years awake, wishing you had more time and a chance to start over. And then you'll die, never to exist again. No flashes of an experienced full life before you die. Not a single penny you worked so hard for will follow you to your grave. And just like that, it's over, and you will never get another chance at this. So no, a job long-term will never give you freedom. And please, if it does, explain it to me. I have yet to see someone actually explain how you will ever become free. Now, of course, unless you find a job that's paying you hundreds of thousands of dollars right out of college in your 20s and you love it and it's amazing with benefits and you move up quick, sure, maybe, right? Maybe. I've never had a job paying that much, but I've heard it's incredibly hard to do and you might have to work at that place for years to even start making money. And even then, how scalable is it? When are you going to stop working and have freedom? And I know someone's probably listening to all of this and thinking, well, having a job forever isn't that bad because, you can put more into a 401k or Roth IRA, you forgot to mention that one, or index.
Okay, but I get what he's going to try to say. What is the point of trying to save up money if you're never going to be able to use it all? It's the truth.
Funds. So that way when you're 60 or 65 after compound interest and blah, blah, blah. Bro, if that's someone's plan for you and you just accept it, value your existence more. That's not freedom. That's not life. I'm not saying we all have to do something that we absolutely love right now, but what's the long-term payoff? If you start saying that's going to take multi-decades to even start seeing results, that's not freedom. And if you can't even have freedom, you can't even begin the path on trying to get the most out of your life. If you work a 9 to 5 forever, like not temporarily, forever, you will live a soulless,
You're gonna head out, but you'll be here next stream? Alright. See you, man.
Mediocre life. Why would we choose that if today we have other options? So if young people don't want to work a 9 to 5 forever, then what do we want to do? Well, the simple answer is entrepreneurship or some form of it. We understand that we cannot save and invest our way to freedom. The only way we're going to get there is by becoming valuable and earning our way there. We understand that if we do not come up with our own plan for our lives, someone else will give us a plan and it will not be in our best interest.
I kind of like to think of, if you want to get rich, think of it as GTA or like an MMO where it has like a currency system, right? Like, for example, GTA. I remember starting out in GTA Online, and I had no clue how to make money, and I was clueless, like I am right now. And then I spent all this time researching on how to actually, get money, the strategies, and I grinded my way, and I slowly built my currency up until I was able to buy my cocaine business, and then it started rolling from there once I bought my first business, right? I feel like if people treated life like that, and I feel like I gotta do the same thing, where you gotta invest your resources and time into figuring out how to make money. What is the best strategies? Because reality is there's so many people out there who try to help you out, but like no one seems to take advantage of it. I don't know. I also realize that there's a lot of people who just give trash advice, like try this, what's it called? Not drop shipping, but what's the other word for it? Side hustle. Try the side hustle. It makes tons of money that everyone else has said to do. Do not listen to that because it's just a waste of time.
Okay, so remember, at the end, we just want freedom to live life on our terms, or at the very least, have a life that has some meaning and purpose in it. And not just freedom whenever we're old and breaking down, but freedom in our youth. And the only way to be truly free and have the ability to live life on our own terms is to make a large sum of money while we're young. So, the plan is to make a large sum of money while we're young so we have the opportunity and time freedom to build the life that we want. And unless you're a professional athlete or a movie star, the next best thing will be to start or be a part of a successful business while we're young. And if I am wrong, please explain to me another path. It doesn't necessarily mean that we need to be a CEO of $1 billion company, but wealth and freedom only comes to those who own something, are a part of something, or have some leverage. If you're just another replaceable cog in the machine, you're going to stay there forever. Or you'll finally be free when you are no longer useful to the system. So I feel like we should pause for
that
a
was
second,
explained
because
beautifully.
whenever I say that we basically want to get rich quick, it sounds extremely wrong and scammy. And yes, I don't like saying that either, but I mean it in a different way. We want to get rich quick, as in 5, 10, 15 years, not the 40 plus year path that might have worked in the past. Getting any type of true wealth or freedom within a day, 2 weeks, or even under a year is completely unrealistic unless you get extremely lucky or you're already extremely skilled. We all know that getting rich quickly, legally, without a ton of risk is practically impossible. But actually sitting down, coming up with a plan, taking action, learning, committing, growing, taking risk, providing value, making an impact, creating something, just doing something different so that over the course of a decade, we can at least have a taste of freedom is much different than just saying, oh, I want to get rich quick. We're not trying to join some 4X pyramid scheme. We're not trying to get rich in crypto or NFTs.
Well, see, the problem with the whole, like, I want to get rich quick thing is a lot of times it leads to just people doing really dumb methods that don't actually work out well, because the reality is getting rich quick is very, very difficult. Well, with the way he's saying, where it's like, oh, in less than a year you get rich. Like, it doesn't happen like that. It takes a little bit more time. And usually the methods that they say are usually ways that people get scammed or pyramid schemes or whatnot. So yeah, I mean, if the best thing is if you're gonna try to figure out how to get rich, or research how to get rich quick, because it doesn't work like that.
Or whatever the thing is now. We even understand we're going to have to give up a lot of time, if not even more time than most. We're going to have to sacrifice, take risks, and do things we don't want to do. We understand that it might not pay off for years. We understand it is not an easy ticket to money. But if at the end, it at least gives us a chance of freedom, it's worth all the sacrifice. There were obviously some people who don't want to work at all and are lazy and don't have any plans at all. Like, those people have been around forever and will continue to do so. Everyone wants to be a king, but nobody wants to do king shit. That sounds kind of cool.
By the way, I think a lot of people label Gen Z as lazy because a lot of them complain about how hard it is to work a 9 to 5, and how, oh, I want to be a TikToker, oh, I want to be a rapper, oh, I want to be a singer. They want to take the easy approaches, when reality is, by the way, being a TikToker, being an influencer in any way is not really easy. I think that's a misconception that a lot of people just assume, like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber, bro, because I'll make a lot of money and it'll be super easy. No. Now, I know I'm not the prime example, but I am an example of, like, dude, I've been doing this for, like, what, 8 years almost? And, bro, I only have 1,000 subscribers. So, people who say, like, and obviously, I've also have over 1,000 videos. I have more videos uploaded on my channel than subscribers. Which says a lot. That means I haven't given up. But like a lot of people just assume like, oh, I'm gonna do the easy approach, and they think they're lazy. It's easy. Um, there's just a misconception being an influencer is easy to get to that point. It's not. It's also luck.
Corny, but I hope you understand the point. Like, there's young people who say they want to make money, but they haven't read a single book about it. Young kids who have dropped out or have never went to college and aren't even trying to do anything else other than waste time. But there are others who simply want to get more out of their existence and will not waste it at a meaningless job forever and are looking for another path. Those who are using the internet, the most powerful tool ever, not to distract themselves all day scrolling, but using it to educate themselves and create opportunities. Those who are actually trying. So this is why you see a lot of younger people talking about not wanting a 9-to-5, but instead of wanting to be influencers, YouTubers, streamers, or whatever. It's not that all of us want to be exactly that or be those people, but we understand that those who do it right, are consistent, and build something with it are in a much better position than those at a regular job. We're just open and aware of other options and where they lead compared to a traditional long-term job. The internet and social media has allowed us to glance into the lives of other people, which is a good and a bad thing. The good that comes from it is that we can see people living a completely different lifestyle than most. We can see what's out there. We can see what's possible. We can see what's actually bullshit and what's realistic. We don't just focus on the highlights of someone's life, but what it took to get there, and we want to get a piece of that ourselves. Because when you understand for the first time that some of these people online are making more than a doctor's salary monthly in their 20s, it really makes you think. Most people don't even know.
Yeah, for example, oh my god. Great example of this is two examples. Dylan Zickus, I think it was, and Carter PCs, bro. These two people are made of money. Mainly Carter PCs, bro. I don't know what he does, but bro, he's like, well, I actually know what he does. He posts 4 TikToks and 4 YouTube Shorts a day, which is dedication. And basically, he just has money, bro. And he's like, what? He's the same age as me, I think. Or well, I think he's 19. He's like, I think he's basically the same age or around my age. And it's just like, oh my god, this guy. Like, I watched him graduate high school basically online, because he like basically documents his life all the time. And it's like, dude, this guy graduated high school and had way more money than an influence than I could ever imagine having, or anyone in my age having. And Dylan Zickus, same thing. Like, he's around my age, and bro, he's living in Miami in this nice, luxurious apartment, bro, making, some simplistic comedy sketches that probably take a maximum of like 30 minutes.
Those who do know, just ignore it. And then most of those who don't ignore it get mad. And then there's some people who just want the end result. But then there are a few who are inspired, who actually commit so they can get a piece of that pie, who figure out the behind the scenes and focus on the process and not just the end. That's what I'm talking about in this video. Because at the end of the day, we are going to have to work. We are going to have to suffer. We're going to have to do something. And if we are going to have to do something, we at least want that something to be on our terms and have some sort of a worthy payoff at the end. It is as simple as that. It's like Mr. Beast. He has probably made more wannabe YouTubers than anyone. This isn't a problem at all. But there are two people. One who wants to do what Mr. Beast does, and one who actually wants to do what Mr. Beast does. Anyone can look at him and what the end result.
It's just like the saying goes, words are easier to say than actually doing them. It's easy to write a word down. It's easy to say in your head, I'm going to do this. But committing, way harder.
The billion-dollar empire and getting millions of views per second or whatever. But not many people want to sit down and actually do it. To sit down, come up with the ideas, record the videos, edit the video, make the thumbnail, hire people, take risks, reinvest everything, and do that over and over, consistently, again and again, over a decade, without seeing the big results until the end. And sure, a lot, if not most of us, are just stupid and just want an excuse to not have a real job. Similar to how years ago, all kids wanted to be professional athletes or become an astronaut. Most will say they want it and then never even sign up. Even less will take it serious, and even much less will commit to it long term, make sacrifices, and actually try. And of course, not everyone can just stop and do this. Not everyone can start a business while they're young, and it is a privilege. I completely understand that, but there will be those who can and will. So in conclusion, instead of working a traditional 9-to-5 job forever, a lot of younger people are looking at entrepreneurship because we understand that's the only way to really make a lot of money while we're young, which can lead to freedom if done right. It is a privilege to even be considering starting a business while you're young, but
Yeah, I do. I have to admit that that is something that people don't realize because if you look at history or just even other countries in the world right now, that's not even possible in some places. Like your freedoms are basically very limited in other places. And people don't really think about that, including me. I don't think about it ever. It's like, oh, I only say when it's convenient to say it. Like right now, well, it's convenient to say it to look good, but like the reality is, I don't even think about it like that either. I don't know why I always tell myself. I don't get it. Whatever.
a lot of us have the opportunity and we are going to take it. Because the only way to guarantee we won't make it is to not even try. So it's not that we don't want to work. We want to. Just on something meaningful with a larger payoff than staying at a job forever. Because 50 years ago, it was probably a pretty good idea to go get a degree, get a job, move up a company, and retire with a pension or something. But now, no, it just doesn't work. I just don't know what the alternative is. Either you work for yourself or you work for someone else to make them rich. The idea of working a job forever just bothers us. I can't speak for everybody, but I think a big reason why we don't want to do this for ourselves is because ever since we were young, we've seen people work jobs, like 9-to-5 jobs.
Well, I think, no. Okay, I know where he's gonna go with this. He's gonna say, oh, that everyone, sees the role, like everyone does the same thing, so it's like you grow up and you're like, oh, that's what's expected. You're told what to do and you follow it. But I actually think it's also just like people want to take the easy approach. They say that it's it's super hard to take risk and do things that are new. It's super hard to do it uncomfortable. People like living a comfortable life where they know what can happen. They know the outcomes. And so a lot of people probably just want to stick to their comfortable life of mediocrity because that's what they know. They know the outcomes, and taking risk is too much. I don't think that applies to everyone, but I think it does apply.
For years, and we just see where it leads. And usually those people are our parents. We love our parents. We appreciate everything they do. But we can just look at their faces and tell they aren't happy. And you really notice this when you start getting older. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful at all, because I understand. People have to do what they have to do. And times were different back then, but I don't want that. They just look so drained. They usually don't have any time. They're always tired. They're anxious about their job. They don't want to go back. And they don't have time for much outside of a job because they have to get ready to go back to the job. They aren't free. They aren't fulfilled. And most of the time, the only purpose they have is us. And they can't even give us the life that they actually want to give us because they don't have the time or freedom to do so. And the crazy thing about it is that they somehow still have no money. A 9-to-5 for decades and still have no money. Like, sure, you can have stuff, but most of it is on credit or it's being paid off for over years and over decades.
It's true.
They've been working since they were young. They did everything right and they still aren't even free. If we do the same thing, it might be a little bit better. Like if we get a degree and then we get a job, sure. Instead of making 50, we might make 75 or $100,000, but so what? We got a bigger box to live in, maybe a shinier car, but we still aren't free. And if they gave up their lives, their dreams, everything, just for us to be here and have a chance at a better life, why would we waste it? Millions of people have lived lives full of pain and suffering and discomfort just for us to have a chance to get the most out of our lives. Why would we waste that? Why would I just accept a mediocre life? Why would I even attempt to see what this life is about? If they were here watching me, wouldn't that be what they would want me to do? It's just nobody enjoys their fucking job. Like, obviously, people only really work for money. So why not optimize for money so you can actually do what you want to do with your life? And obviously, it's easier said than done, but what's the alternative? Accept a shit existence, remain comfortably numb, give up? Like, what else do you really have better to do? Because I get it. If you're 30, 35, 40 with kids and debt and mortgage and student loans, whatever, I get it. But as a 15 to like 25-year-old with the power of the fucking internet with nothing but time and opportunity,
Damn.
why would you willingly just accept that life? Because 10,000 years ago, I get it. You had to go hunt for food. 500 years ago, I get it. My ancestors were slaves. 100 years ago, I get it. You didn't have much choice over anything you did other than what others told you to do. But today, you can literally Google any question ever and get an answer from.
Yeah, now that I think about it, the whole GTA analogy actually applies. Just treat this whole money thing like GTA 5, or how do I get rich quick in GTA 5? And just do that in real life. Just invest the time. Think of it as like, okay, this is gonna sound cringe, but think of no, do I say that? Do I think it's okay? Whatever. Yourself as a GTA Online character. How would you make yourself better? But that sounds ridiculously cringy, and frankly, it works. Like it gets the point across. But like, dude, I don't like using analogies like that because it just makes me look like an idiot and a nerd, basically. So yeah, I'm just gonna refrain from going on about that.
For some of the smartest people ever on any topic. We have all knowledge ever. We have AI. We have so much potential to do different things. Why wouldn't you even just try? Why would you take all this opportunity and just throw it away? Because 1,000 years ago, this wasn't possible. 100 years ago, this wasn't possible. Barely 10 years ago, this wasn't possible. A lot of younger people have a chance to do something life-changing and are not going to waste it. Just do the math. Do the fucking math. You get comfortable at a job and you start piling on debt and responsibilities, you're fucked. Your real dreams are gone. Your life is basically just working to pay off things for the rest of your life. If you want that, cool. If not, then do something while you can.
Okay, I know I'm supposed to be focused on this, but dude, okay. Look at this. This car is literally tailgating that
Cool.
car, and then this car tailgates that car.
If not,
And oh my god, and then
do
it
something
tailgates
while
that
you
car,
can.
and then it tailgates
a
that
lot
car.
of the younger people just
It's like they're
simply
actually braking, like realistically. What? It's just like, who made this? Okay, they're very off topic though. Like, like
don't want that.
look at
You
that,
just
and
look
then
at the regular path that most people take.
like, look, dude,
It's
look.
just
Oh my
miserable.
god.
Is
Enough.
your entire life supposed to be just getting up, working? Because a job is not something that's like a small part of your life. For most people, it is a third of your life.
That's
And if you're
crazy. A
gonna
third of
sleep
your
another
life is
third of your
crazy.
life, half your time awake is your job. It is not something that we just want to stay at forever. If you want that, cool. If not, to do something different while you can. Things are getting expensive. Inflation is rising. The rich will get richer. Houses are expensive. McDonald's got rid of the dollar menu. Everything is getting harder and harder and will continue to do so forever. And all throughout history, it's always been poor and unfree people who had it the worst. And now we have a chance to switch sides and have something for ourselves, and we just shouldn't.
You know the sad reality of this video though? Is the people who are watching this, most likely 99% of the people, I always make up statistics. Let's just say 90% of the people will not act on this. They'll be like, oh, man, I'm motivated. I'll probably be one of the people who's going to be like, oh, I'm motivated. And then nothing happens. You just forget about it and you move on.
So to wrap this up, it's not that we don't want to work. It's just that we realize how absurd the idea of working forever at a job is and are trying to do something different while we're young and we have the chance to do so. We just don't want to be comfortably numb. We want to get the most out of this short life that we have. We don't want to die knowing we were never free. No matter what path in life you choose, it is going to be hard. So why not pick the path that gives you the most at the end?
Okay, well that was okay.
Xylophobia.
Okay, pause. Xylophobia? Okay, I've never heard of that. Okay, whatever. Back.
The
Okay,
younger
okay. I'll just bring this all in so it knows I watched it. Alright. No. Bro. Oh my
Xylophobia.
god, dude.
the
Oh, it's because
younger
it's in my watch later. Oh, that explains everything. Yes, I have 330 videos in my watch later, and yes, I don't really use it at all, so there's just gonna sit there forever. Yes, that's the case. Don't just ignore it. Alright, anyways, I'm liking the video. No, this video hit deep, bro. Like, this is crazy, bro. This is probably... It's like a wake-up call, kind of like, hey... Because it applies to me really heavily, and probably 99% of... Okay, stop saying 99%. I don't even know the percentages. I don't look at my analytics, so I have no clue, but I'm just gonna guess, like, probably, like, 50% or something of people, at least, probably, who are affected by this and should, whatever. I don't remember. I'm subscribing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even remember what I was gonna say. I mean, yeah, all these comments are basically gonna say everything that's already been talked about, probably. So yeah, that was a phenomenal video, though. That was great. And frankly, hopefully, you watching this also wake up from that and realize you gotta change something. Anyways, yeah, that's the end of the stream, bro. Thanks for watching. And yeah, that's that. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, peace.